Elikkä terveeksi teille kaikille sille YouTuben puolella Sinirata tässä ja tänään katsotaan Katsojien valinta 2019. Sori, että meni näin kauan. Ja tiedoksi vain alustavasti, tässä ei todellakaan lue kaikkia näitä videoiden nimeä, enkä mä ole varma, että pääseekö tää tupeen vai joudunko pätkimään tästä osan, mutta aloitetaan joka tapauksessa. Tässä ei tule olemaan jotain Luhranko-videota ja Gravy Dukkula-videota, mutta muuten kiitos kaikista valinnoista, jotka te olette tehneet. Okei, aloitetaan NYT nyt. Katsojien valinta 2019.
Oh, you have exquisite taste, my dear.
Oh, Sunny. Miesten mies, herrojen herra.
Don't be shy. You've already opened the door to your home. Now open the door to your heart.
Tää tulee sama lippuja tämä
No need to hold anything
video,
back.
koska
Leap into my arms.
One Piecea ei saa ikinä näyttää missään suomalaisesta.
I think this dress would look amazing on you.
Tää on muuten yhdestä filler-jaksosta, jota ei mangassa ollenkaan ole.
Ouch! Wasn't ready for that.
Get ready for this. Oh no, they were ready for that. Lego-elokuva. Voi ei, pahin painajainen. Se on mies, joka pitää mekkoa. Ei kamalas. Tää oli kamalampi hetki oli se viime kerralla, kun mä astuin jäätelön päälle.
I must be dreaming after all.
Mitä jäätelön tuhlausta? Jotain on vikaa ton ihmisen poskipäissä. Pitäisikö ne käydä korjauttamassa jossakin? Sanji vois vähän leipoa hänen naamaansa. Tervetuloa.
We like the same things. That makes you want a boss.
This is a safe place. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not anymore.
This is a safe place, voi ei, tämä on... Enpä sano mikä. Keksitte kyllä varmasti... Voi ei, tuli kyynel otsaan. Se tarkoittaa sitä, että hänen otsansa itkee.
No!
Ihmiset tykkäävät pitää suuta auki. Tai sitten animointi on vaan helpompaa, kun voi vaan jättää ihmiset samaan asentoon. Mitä ihmettä flamingoillakin on paran sänki? Miten se edes toimii? En minä tuolla tavalla juokse. Tämä on selvästi väkivaltaa miehiä kohtaan.
Dearest Nami, my sweet Robin. It's been a while. How are the two of you doing?
Nami-san ja Robin Swan, elikkä Robin Joutsen. On täältä ikuisuuteen. Lihava mahdollisuus. Fat Jack.
It's obvious. I'm in hell.
Pojat!
Tulkaapas pois!
Pois sieltä!
Kellareitten komeroista! Minä olen teidän nähnyt!
Turha minua on piilotettu.
Nega-ankka!
Nyt
Räätälä!
tämä
Ja
asia
justiinsa!
justiinsa.
Kuka teistä pojan likoista on ottanut ja juonut minun kiljun taamariin? Ne oli minun vappukirjut! Helmetin nulikat!
Likat!
Ei saa sanoa helvetti, jos ei puhu siitä uskonnollisesta paikasta tai muuten tulee K18 leima eikä minä saa rahaa tästä.
Poliisiasia!
Älkää vitsi, en mä saa tästä rahaa joka tapauksessa, mä teen tämän koska mä haluan.
Erittäin varma, minun kiljut on hukassa!
Niiden pitää löytyä!
Jaha, Jansson.
Mitä?!
Lähtetäänpäs kattelemaan niitä kilyjä vähän muualle.
Poliisi setää minun saappaat hukassa!
Minä äsken kuulin, mikä teillä hukassa on.
Saappaat ovat hukassa!
Saappaat ja saappaat. Katsotaanpas vähän tarkemmin tuolla kamarilla niitä saappaita, niin.
Jaha, ja minä kun en lähde minkään kamarin.
Kyllähän te lähette, asia on sillä tavalla, että nyt lähdetään.
Äläkää kuulkaa!
Älkääpäs, kuolkaapas. Seuratkaapas Planeetta Robbia, koska The Cartoon Clip Show. Minähän katsoin noita Wheeled Warriors ja aikaisemmin tältä samalta tyypiltä. Epäinhimällistäjät. Inhimällistäjät, muistakaa, se on erittäin tärkeää. Tää on tärkeää, että mälliä ihmisiä.
Which is a shame because these toys kick ass.
En nyt sanois.
How massive these guys are. When your figures tower over all others in the toy aisle, you're making a statement that these action figures are a force to be reckoned with.
Joo, mutta kun...
Of course they aren't perfect. Some of them were pretty hollow and could fall apart over
niin.
time. I remember having all 3 of the Inhumanoids and it wasn't long before Decompose's tiny head broke off.
Siinä on vaan se ongelma, että mitä enemmän muovia käyttää, sitä enemmän rahaa menee. Ei sen takia, että muovi maksaisi enemmän, mutta kun sulla on enemmän yksityiskohtia, niin tietenkin se maksaa enemmän tehdä iso figuuri kuin tehdä pieni figuuri. Mä muistan, kun Cine Massacre eikä James Rolfe puhui tästä, mutta sitä videota ei ole enää tubessa, älkää menkö itsemään. Kultavuori!
They bring it to an unveiling, and as anyone who's seen King Kong will tell you, this is always a good idea.
Hei, katsokaa ihmiset, mitään pahaa ei ikinä tapahdu. Voi ei, pahoja asioita tapahtui, olimme tyhmiä koko ajan. Mutta toisaalta mistä sitä tietää, mistä olisi voinut tietää, että dinosaurus elää henkiin. And everything he touches becomes an undead abomination, as seen in the most famous moment from the show. Se kuolee. Tämähän oli lasten ohjelma. Tai ehkä tää oli nuorille aikuisille jompikumpi. Joo, muistakaa, käyttäkää biojäteastiaa. Jee, decompose, biojäteastia. Onneksi ton naisen vaatteet ei repeytynyt, tai onneksi sen vaatteet kutistui samalla, kun se muukin keho kutistui. Se oli erittäin tärkeä huomio, voi hitsi.
But he's not very smart. He's pretty much just a lackey and gets distracted quite a bit. He's kind of like a big kid.
DC-komiksin pitäisi haastaa Inhumanoids oikeuteen. Toi oli ihan selvästi Swamp Thing-matkinta, eli Rämeen oli matkinta. Toi kaljujätkä on ihan selvästi Lex Luthor.
Those are some deadly loogies. He can also inexplicably bring statues to life and he uses them to guard his lair.
Lisäksi kun jotkut lelumainokset tai leluohjelmat silloin 80-luvulla, niin ne ei ottanut itseään 100% vakavasti, niin tässä tää piirtotyyli ja animaatiotyyli näyttää aika vakavasti otettavalta, mikä on sikäli outoa, ja tämän ohjelman tarkoitus on myydä leluja. Sen takia tää on varmaan niin... paistaa läpi tää, koska tää on niin erilainen muihin sarjoihin verrattuna.
Not that he's not useful or anything, but I don't think we're going to be bringing down ancient horrors using super soaker technology. Finally, there's Augur, the best character in the show. He's a surly geologist with a mean streak. He's always angry at the news, and every time something happens he doesn't like, he throws his shoe at the TV and breaks it. This guy destroys TVs like he's Master Shake. At one point they put a net in front of their TV. That's hilarious.
Joo, onhan se vähän.
This team is a real class act.
Heittääkö se kenkänsä joka kerta televisioon vai oliko se vain yksi vitsi?
Is it my imagination or are the roots moving? You have no imagination, Augur. They must be moving.
Your suit's damaged beyond repair. You'll have to return to the surface. Rubbish! But your respirator unit is ruined. Well, if I'd used your design, it would have been. But fortunately, I threw out your design and built this myself.
Ha.
Unfortunately, despite the impending doom to humanity, the team's government funding gets cut and they're out of work. Another great call by our elected officials.
Yes.
Luckily, they get privately funded by a businesswoman named Sandra Shore.
Thank you, Miss Shore. But why are you doing this?
I'm willing to fund your expedition into the Earth.
Hey, fantastic.
Go fund
There's
yourself.
a catch. I'm coming with you.
Oh, wait a minute, wait. It won't be...
Those are my terms.
Well, okay, but you're not getting an action figure. But her brother and business rival wants the powers of the Inhumanoids for himself. His name is Blackthorn Shore. And no, that's not a cool nickname or anything. That's his real name.
Aika paha.
Who the hell names
Blackthorn, eli siis suomeksi musta oka tai musta piikkipensas.
Other creatures come out of hiding and help fight them off. Like the redwoods.
Ja se on sen etunimi tai onko? Ehkä se vaan muutti nimensä virallisesti siksi, koska sen nimi oli oikeasti Steve, mutta sitten kaikki pilkkas häntä ja tähän muutti etunimensä.
I'm a little disappointed by his action figure. He's not a fire creature inside a rock shell. He's two polarized halves of a single creature, which means he has magnetic powers and is one of the few characters that can successfully incapacitate Metlar. He's been holding him captive for thousands of years.
Olisi ehkä pitänyt kuunnella, mistä noi inhumanoidit tuli, koska ne vaan tuli jostain ja ne on... Ja sitten niiden nimi on Inhumanoids, mutta ne on kaikki humanoideja, eli niillä on 2 kättä, 2 jalkaa ja pää.
There's a lot of non-stop action and even a pretty convincing moment that makes it seem like the Earth core fails. In the end, the Inhumanoids are imprisoned again, wrapping things up pretty well. The series could have ended right there. Unfortunately, it didn't. In the following episodes, all the Inhumanoids are free again. And we're back to square one. What's that? We haven't sold all the toys?
Meidän pitää niinku... Voi ei, meidän pitää myydä enemmän leluja, mutta Megatron tapettiin viime jaksossa. Tuodaan se takaisin. Tää on Galvatron! Joo, ihan eri haama, ostakaa heti.
In the fight against the Inhumanoids, Earth Core makes a few allies. One is a Russian soldier named Tank. He's named that because they make him a suit out of parts from a tank that got wrecked. Yeah, they just sort of throw it together. I'm sure that's fine. Good luck, Tank. Later on, they meet an Air Force pilot who crashed his jet.
Ne kutsuu sitä Tankiksi. Mikä sen venäläisen jätkän oikea nimi on?
And let him fly. They made it out of the wreckage of his jet.
Terve, okei. Hyvää onnea, tankki. Minun nimeni on Dmitri Misgonovich! Turpaki-tankki.
What a wasted opportunity. Blackthorn awakens another giant reptilian monster called
2 käärmettä.
because at one time Metlar
surffaamista.
snail guys that have a whole society inside the earth, but we only see them a few
Minkä näköisiä?
all they require is human junk food.
Mitä ihmettä?
Guys off with some McDonald's. Gotta love cheap labor. In the 5-parter, Blackthorn is imprisoned for interfering with the Earth core and nearly getting the world ended. Dick. While in prison, he meets a geneticist by the name of Dr. Mangler.
Mangler?
They off because they both have predetermined supervillain names. Anyway, next time we see the good doctor, he gets dissolved.
Hei aikuiset ja kaikki ihmiset, jotka haluatte hankkia lapsia. Älkää antaako lapsellenne nimeksi jotain superpahiksi oletettua nimiä, kuten Victor Von Doom. Nimittäin, jos sä annat sellaisen nimen sun lapsellesi, niin on aika oletettavaa, että se lapsi kasvaa superpahikseksi vain sen takia, että se voisi täyttää, että se olisi sopivaa nimi pahikselle.
This is so messed up that even Decompose is horrified by it. And when he's freaked out, then something is definitely wrong. But you know what?
Ja miksi tuolla Dingo Bossilla oli se kaappi keskellä rintaa? Eikö se ole aika paha? Ei se muuten olisi paha, mutta kun se sisäelimet on siinä niinku ihan niinku toiminnallisena ja liikkuu siinä toisella puolella seinää. Kuka tahansa voisi vain lyödä sua suoraan maksaan, jos sä laitat jonkun sun rintakehäs kaappiin.
Its design is ugly, and even saying its name makes me want to gag. It's like they went out of their way to make this creature as repulsive as possible. Even the noises it makes are disgusting.
Muistatteko, kun Ren ja Stimpy oli paha sarja, kun siinä oli todella paljon body horroria ja kauheaa iljettäviä kohtia? Miten tää pääsi 10 vuotta ennen Ren ja Stimpyä niinku televisiolähetyksiin?
It can also control what it digests and keeps people prisoner in its stomach. And it releases them by puking them up. Oh, that's vile. I can't believe something.
Toivottavasti toi ei oo vatsahappoa. Toivottavasti se on vaan jotain kusta. Tai jos otetaan nämä amerikkalaiset televisiosensuurit tuon aikaan, niin se oli varmaan omenamehua!
Fun fact, this show aired alongside Gem and the Holograms.
Kiva katsoa jotain Gem and the Holograms ja sitten kattelee vaan miten laulaja tanssii ja bilettää ja yrittää voittaa ne pahisbändin ja olla muotilehtien kansissa ja sitten seuraavaksi hirviö oksentaa ihmisiä päälle. Revitään käsiä irti. Varmasti oli mukavaa elää 80-luvulla.
This show does not stop. Things are happening at every moment, be it something disturbing or some insane action. It's downright relentless.
Ja vieläpä sillä 80-luvun sensuurilla, kun ei pystynyt mitä taas tekemään vielä 80-luvulla. Nyt sensuurit on pikkasen pienempiä puolelta ja toiseen. Esimerkiksi jotain rasistisia stereotypioita ei saisi ei olisi parasta olla näyttämättä sarja, mutta se on taas se, miten nämä asiat ilmenee.
There's a lot of split screen action and some epic locations like Metlar's lair that
resembles
hell, the very core of the earth itself.
Asiat vaan muuttaa muotoa, että mikä on sallittavaa ja mikä ei. Erityisesti kun televisiossa ei saa näyttää joitakin asioita, mutta sitten YouTubessa on vielä tarkemmat kriteerit sille, että mitä saa näyttää.
This is the result of years of mindless entertainment.
Swell.
Oh, you mean like this show? Things got a little confusing after a while as well. There were a lot of temporary alliances and betrayals. You needed a chart to figure out who was still aligned with who. What was really weird was all the political stuff in this show. There's a lot of dirty politics from a corrupt politician named Senator Masterson, a fixed election that the Inhumanoids get involved in, a nosy reporter that's a parody of Geraldo Rivera. Even President Reagan shows up.
Flooding in Fernac would result in an explosion that would crack the planet in half.
Well, perhaps we ought to telephone the Soviets and tell them this.
As you know, the Earth core budget was cut, therefore they're
Onks toi Ronald Reagan toi ollaan sininen takki, koska se ei näytä yhtään Reaganilta?
You know what would have been awesome if they gave him a power suit to fight the Inhumanoids.
Ajatelkaa jos Inhumanoids tehdään nykypäivänä ja sitten näytettäis kun Trump on sillä, joo, meidän pitäisi liittää näiden Inhumanoidien kanssa, että me voitais rakentaa muuri! Ja minulla on pora, joka ei pitäisi poraa mitään, koska siinä on tylppä kärki, mutta kai siinä on vaan 1 miljoona hevosvoimaa tuossa yhdessä porassa. Okei.
his team makes the crew from Armageddon look plausible.
There's no mistaking the former heavyweight champ of the world, Smokin' Joe Abdullah.
Miller, I want you. I'm gonna take the fight right at you. 3 rounds. I'm gonna knock you out.
He wants to fight Metlar?
Muistuttaa se kerta, kun toi Muhammad Ali taisteli teräsmiestä vastaan yhdessä sarjakuvassa.
Come on, Miller. You and me, one-on-one. What do you say? What do you say?
Why didn't we see more of this guy?
And here we have the famed film director, George Landisberg.
I think we have a tender love story here, Hector, and I really want to explore its inner meaning.
I'm sure you will, George.
In what part of undead armies, rampaging plant monsters, and lava-spitting demons do you see a love story?
Sä et on nähnyt minun fanfiktioita. Tai internetti ei ollut tuolla vielä tuolloin.
But they got the formula wrong and end up spraying them with a love potion.
Voi ei. Onks tää nyt sen, kun ne rupee polyamorisesti niinku vaan suutelemaan toisiaan?
This is what I was afraid of. It's like they're falling in love.
Mihin? Et sä voi rakastua ilman kohdetta, ethän.
This does make the Inhumanoids more terrifying. Tendril falls in love
Joo, mutta samalla menetään kaiken arvokkuuden, kun katson tätä sarjaa.
Decompose falls in love with Sandra, and they act out a scene that looks like if you crossed Beauty and the Beast with Evil Dead. And Metlar falls in love with the Statue of Liberty.
Kuinka progressiivista näyttää objektofiilejä tässä sarjassa 80-luvulla. Wow, toi ei oo todellakaan tommonen ääni, kuin että kuvittelisin Vapauden patsalla olevan.
The Lord of the Underworld, defeated by his wife. That's epic.
And why can't you get decent help? They couldn't even beat those ridiculous, ugly creatures. Are you listening to me?
I heard every word. I was just trying to finish your hot tub, dearest.
Excuses, all the time excuses.
You know, I would wonder why she doesn't have an accent. She is French after all.
Niin, samaa mäkin ajattelin.
That's the least of what's going on here. The final episode is incredible. There's a presidential election and Augur is in the race.
My name's Augur from Earthcore.
Ja mä varastin 40 kakkua. 40 kakkua varastin ja se oli kauheaa.
Mr. Augur, would you like to tell us what your qualifications are? I used to be a boxer. Now I'm a member of the Earthcore.
Nyrkkele.
Only every president dealt with media vultures like he did.
Excuse me, Mr. Ramirez, but if you go with us, well, you're liable to get your legs broke and both lights punched out. I'm not scared of the Inhumanoids.
I'm talking about me, you media clown. Now get out of here.
The rest of the episode is a glorious balls-to-the-wall battle with every character getting involved. It's total chaos, and talking about it won't do it justice. You have to see it for yourself. This show was unbelievable.
No, uskomaton on todellakin se sana, mitä mä käyttäisin tällä hetkellä.
I'm amazed it never made a comeback. I know it was messed up, but other Hasbro properties have had their fair share of disturbing moments. Even in recent years, they've shown they're not above that kind of thing. Hell, in Transformers Prime, Megatron robs the tomb of one of the Primes, steals his arm, and grafts it to himself.
Please, tell me you're not adverse to desecration.
I heard that Kevin Smith...
Joo, mutta se on pikkasen eri asia, mitä roboteille tehdään. Sä voit tehdä mitä tahansa väkivaltaista roboteille ja se silti voi olla vaan K12. Se show tai elokuva.
The show still has a strong fan base. I even found custom-made figures on DeviantArt that gave the characters an updated look. That is some dedication.
Joo.
But for now, the original show holds up pretty well. I absolutely recommend watching it if you can find it and experience the insanity for yourself. It might not have been appropriate for kids, but as an adult,
Toi ei ole ehkä lapsille sopivaa, mutta mä olen nähnyt niin paljon enemmän sarjoja, jotka on vähemmän lapsille sopivaa, joten mä voin antaa riemulla lapsieni katsoa tätä sarjaa, jos mulla ikinä lapsia tulee koskaan olemaan.
A monster can be your best friend.
Joo, käykää kaikki katsomassa tätä jätkää, tai älkää, miten vaan.
Me katsotaan
Elikkä terveeksi teille kaikille siellä green screen roomin.
Mutta täältä tulee mainoksia, ja sehän meitä ärsyttää.
Onneksi Murray ja Murray ovat samaa pataa tässä universumissa.
Täältä tulee niitä mainoksia.
Minä itse asiassa pidän mainoksista.
Mitä helvettiä, mitä sä voit pitää mainoksista? Mitä hyvää niissä edes on?
No, en mä tiedä, mä tykkään kellomainoksista ja vaippamainoksista. Tiedätkö niistä, missä se lammas, se on söpö se lammas.
Ei niitä lampaita ole ollut 1 000 000 vuoteen televisiossa.
Sä olet idiootti.
Mä olen idiootti.
Sä oot vitu idiootti.
Sä olet idiootti.
Eikä kun idiootti olet sinä ja sitä mieltä minä olen.
Minä olen sitä mieltä, että mä voisin katsoa tämän ohjelman, mitä mä katson tällä hetkellä eteenpäin.
Hei lapset.
Roope! Roope ja Kelkka. En.
Ai olet. No sepä on siistiä.
Oliks toi se elokuva, missä pystyy matkustamaan ajassa Boreal-altaassa?
Pieniä liukureita joka lähtöön. Niin lapsille tilaa nyt ja saat liukurisi päälle maailman liukurit ry-logolla varustetun
liukureita. Mä laskin kerran liukuria alas, niin säntäluuhun sattuu.
Jotenkin epäilyttävää.
Ne on liukureita. Mitä epäilyttävää niissä muka on?
En minä tiedä.
Ihan typerää.
Salekurikka.
Kaikki pääset pulkkamäkeen. Paitsi me, kun me päästään.
Rakastele mua, niin rakastelet miestä.
Mä en nostanut liukuria vielä.
Mä et olekaan nostanut.
Bob Dimitri, anna tunteitasi piestä.
Mainokset loppuu.
Hyvää iltaa ja tervetuloa poliisiteiden pariin.
Hyvät katsojat, television katselijat, nyt vuorossa Murikka, oi!
Liukuhihna. Pitäkää mielessä, että tämän jakson henkilöt eivät ole aivan varmoja, kuka heidän omaisuuttaan on varastanut, koska sitä ei lukenut heille annetussa jonka siis me annoimme, sillä
nämä asiat varasti puolikas kokonainen makkara. Poliisi TV.
Niin, herra. Mitä teiltä varastettiin?
Tosiaan meitä varastettiin auto, eiku mikä vittu se oli?
Eipäs kiroilla siinä, tämä on kristillinen serveri.
Ei, siis liukuhihna.
Siis liukuhihnan kun varastettiin vai se koko mekanismi siitä?
Hei, mähän näyttelen hyvin.
Onko tämä näyteltyä?
No johan se tuossa alussa sanottiin, senkin tyhmä pete.
Kyllä, se on nimeni. Älä kuuluta sitä. Ja aiemmin kuunnellut oli silmät kiinni.
Ei silmillä mitään kuulu.
Yksi Murray ei koskaan riitä. Ja kun mä sanon Murray, niin tarkoitanko mä nyt sitä SPM:n Murrayä, joka kirjoitetaan M-Ö-R-I, vai Sly Cooper-sarjan Murrayä, joka on M-U-R-R-A-Y?
Se oli minä ohjelmassa.
Sillä on isommat viikset kuin oma egonsa. Mä en oo ikinä nähnyt yhtäkään ihmistä, jonka viikset on isompi kuin sun oma ego. Murmur.
Tosiaan, meiltähän varastettiin auto. Ei ollut auto, kun sehän oli tuo. Mikä se on?
Liukuhihna. Mä en oo kokonaan edes kokonaan. Mäkin pysyn enemmän kärryillä siitä, että se on liukuhihna, joka on varastettu tässä.
Mitä? En mä sano sitä kyllä uudestaan.
Joo, joudutte maksaa 2-kertaisen hinnan, jos mä joudun eri asioita sanomaan, mitä käsikirjoituksessa on. Munkin pitää pyytää tommoset taksat, jos kun mä menen ikinä minnekään ääninäyttelemään.
Mikä se oli?
Liukuhihna, sanot vaan liukuhihna, niin
Liukuhihna.
Joo. Okei, tää varmaan hoituu sitten. Siinä teidän tietokoneella laitatte sen sitten.
Joo, me leikataan se siihen silleen.
Kyllä herra majuri, ymmärsin täydellisesti kaiken mitä sanoitte.
On se kamera muuten varmasti pois päältä.
Dragon Force.
Pitäis kyllä luottaa näihin pikkufirmoihin. Tääkin mainos mennyt ihan pieleen.
Mutta tämähän on Poliisi-TV.
Ai niin.
Poliisi-TV:ssä tänään on kokonainen puolikas makkara, joka yhdistetään lautasella. Se on, ja sitten kun ne makkaran palat yhdisteltiin, niin siitä tuli kokonainen puolikas kokonainen makkara.
Hei me poliitikot!
Onks tää nyt se itsevaltiaiden jatko-osa?
Me päästiin telkkariin.
Koko ajan me tätä ollaan tässä katot.
Paitsi mä.
Niin, Pete, sä olit silloin kaupassa, kun toi kuvattiin.
Eikö tää
Ai niin joo, mä muistun, että kerran pystyttiin, että katsotaan videot tästä videosta, mutta sitten mä en pysty lataamaan sitä, niin mulle ladattiin tää MP4-versiona Google Driveista, että kiitos siitä.
Samassa yhteydessä, joten minun pitää mennä.
Tai oikeastaan mitä tulee videoiden lataamiseen, niin se on oikeastaan semmoinen outo juttu, että mä en pysty lataamaan näin hitaalla nettiyhteydellä, kun mä otan mun nettini suoraan niin kuin kännykästä. Mutta sitten kun mä menen kotiin, missä on 4G, niin sitten näiden lataaminen onnistuu ihan ilman mitään ongelmia. Sen takia ei tule katsojavideoita niin paljon. Jos mä niitä tulevaisuudessa teen, niin mä luultavasti joudun tekemään ne niistä videoista, mitä mulla nyt on tässä koneella. Onko toi puhelin, nimittäin mihin laitetaan se puhelimen luuri sitten, kun ei tossa ole semmoista mitään paikkaa missään?
Eikö kauppakeskus ole kiinni tähän aikaan? No, minä tulen.
Mä muistan sen kerran, kun Sly Cooper ja Kopla meni varastamaan KFCstä kanaa. Peter Rotary. Murmurmörrik. Tää on ehkä ideaalisin show ikinä. Siis mä en olisi ikinä keksinyt itse tämmöstä showta.
Petelle, kun se on täällä missä kehtaa, piti sitä pelastamaan sieltä.
Kiva juttu kun tuli.
Mitä? Ei tule tekstiä tuohon alas, vaikka tää radiokiikari ei olekaan mikään aikakone, mikä pystyy ilmoittamaan mitä asioita sanotaan tällä hetkellä.
Niin, se nappi. No niin, ylhäällä ollaan. Alappas tulla me.
Vittu, mulla on jalka paskana, miten mä itteni sinne taiteille.
Joo. Pitäisikö soittaa vaikka ambulanssi?
Ehkä ei. Sitten joku voi vaikka epäillä mitä muutolahkaksi. Ja sehän olisi ihan noloa.
Joo.
Niin. Joo. No koita sitten päästä tänne ylös.
No okei sitten.
Mä en tajua yhtään, miten mikään näistä asioista on mahdollista.
Aika pahalta toi sun jalkas kyllä näyttää.
Joo.
Lähetään pois.
Joo. Mennään eteenpäin.
Joo. Mä taivutaan sitä kuin totuutta. Mä taivutaan totuutta kuin poliitikko. Mitä? Mitäs tämä tarkoittaa? Ei minusta oikeasti tule muumiota. Helpon ylityksen jälkeen.
Kyllä ei varmaan jaksa tämän jalan kanssa kävellä kotiin. Pitäisikö soittaa Muhvelille, että ottaa auto?
Muhvelille? Eiks Muhveli ole muumi?
Minä voin
Kaikki saaret on muumeja nykyään. Moomin Characters ostaa kaikki saaret ja kaikki. Se on osa Moomin Cinematic Universumia nyt.
Mennään noihin kaapelipiiloja. Sitten kun se tulee, niin...
Tämäkin video on maksettua sisältöä. Mitä läpivalaisua tapahtui nyt tässä?
No voi, taisin myöhästyä pahemman kerran. Pojat taisivat löytää jo itse tiensä kotiin.
Eikö se on böö eikä bää?
Joo. Otetaanko uusiksi?
Joo, otetaan vaan.
Vitun äyssit, ei mä nyt enää tohon pelästy XD.
Ja meidän luokan paperit sain.
Mitä sä sitten näit?
No, haastattelun lopuksi ne poliisi-tv-tyypit, jotka tulivat siis tekemään poliisi-tvtä. Siitä meidän varastetusta liukuhiinasta, joka ei ollut varastettu, koska se tarina ei ole totta.
Mikä on totta enää nykyään?
Niin, sen sarjan
avaruuskin kiteytyy koko ajan, niin ei sitä enää tiedä mikä on totta ja
me
mikä
ollaan
ei.
ne roudarit ja se on meidän firma, jossa tää kaikki tapahtuu. Ja minä järkytyn siitä todella pahasti, vaikka olenkin ihan saatananmoinen pervo ja tykkään pornoa katsella ihan helvetisti ja runkkailla kaikkea random
Millä?
ja kaikelle ihan hirveälle setille. Mutta oli se minullekin jo aivan liikaa, kun he pystyvät menemään meidän toimiston pöydällä, sohvalla ja matolla.
Ja katolla.
Ja liukuhihnalla.
Katossa.
Ja se kameran edessä, joka oli päällä, koska se oli varmaan unohdettu päälle. Ja en kehdannut häiritä mainitsemalla asiasta.
Se on kyllä nyt aika järkyttävää.
Mutta enhän mä edes vielä päässyt siihen kauhean kohtaan.
No mikä sitten oli kauhean?
No meiltä oli hammastikut loppu ja minulla on vieläkin salaatinpala hampaassa.
Tuo on vallan kamalaa. No, mutta onneksi minulla on täällä kauppakassassa niitä. Ota tästä yksi.
Tattista.
Bitch please, sä ite pyysit niitä hammastikkuja.
Mitä vittua
Piti tehdä perässä.
Mihin?
Mihin Murray tarvitsee hammastikkua, kun sillä on vain yksi hammas?
Se auto, se on tuolla parkissa.
Sä voisit käyttää vaikka sormea, paitsi että jos se sormi on likainen, niin ei sit.
Mun auto on varastettu.
Onneksi minä sentään ostin.
Mun auto on BMW! Vitossarjaa!
Aika niin, veriman peikki. No, kävelään kotiin.
Joo. Kiitos kaikille lahjoittelijat Kuutti, Jakko, Matti, Mimi, Koskelainen, Mikko, Siniraita. Minä lahjoitin kaiken! Kaiken! Minä lahjoitin aivan kaiken hyvän tekeväisyyteen.
Olen Sale, ilkeä poliitikko. Varastin noiden roudareiden auton. Nyt heille
Poliitikot on niin söpöjä vihaisina.
Se oli hyvä muisto.
Minä en muista mitään.
No minäpä muistan. Sattuu vieläkin jalka.
Haluatteko te nähdä mun rakot?
Traagiset taustatarinat ja lapsuuden muistot, niin turha niitä on enää tässä alkaa muistelemaan. Onhan tätä ohjelmaa tullut jo monta kautta.
Jep, osaa kyllä olla tämän roudakin elämän jännää toisena.
Kaimins. Thundercats! Oh! The Cartoon Clip Show. Taas täältä samalta jätkältä. Mitäs nyt? Toivottavasti Dungeons ja lohikäärmeet ja vankilat! Kulttiseuranta. Because it's evil.
Dragons, the animated series, aired on CBS, lasting for 3 short seasons spanning from 1983 to 1985. It was produced directly by TSR, the company that owns the game, with additional help from Marvel Productions.
Yeah, paras Marvel-sarja ikinä ja Toei Animation on ilmoittanut.
Of course, it used many assets from the popular tabletop game, though some things needed to be changed, and we'll get into that. But it featured many new elements, including our main heroes, a group of kids who were unwillingly transported from their world via a Dungeons and Dragons carnival ride. Why isn't that a thing? You know how many nerds would line up to...
En mä tiedä, olisiko se niin kuin mahdollista. Yksisarviset, mihin taikaan lennot häipyivät.
maybe makes her intangible, I think. I'm not really sure. Her younger brother Bobby, the barbarian, gets Bam Bam's club from the Flintstones, which can shatter anything he hits with it and create small earthquakes when he strikes.
Kiviset ja soraset.
Dismember the most destructive weapon. I'm sure that's fine. Diana, the acrobat, which is not a Dungeons and Dragons.
Noni. 0/5.
She gets a magic staff that she does flips and stuff with, I guess. The magician Presto, yes, that's his name, gets a magic hat that he can pull items out that can help them, but most of the time it's just for comedic effect.
Hassua. Go and fly! Hop up and away with Shazam! Se tappoi oman äitinsä. Ei hitto, tää on 80-luvun animaatioita, yksi ääliö pitää olla joukossa mukana. Eihän tässä tule mitään, jos joku ei ole aina joku ei ole ankkurimassa, kirjaimellisesti repimässä meitä maahan niin, ettei me päästä juonessa eteenpäin. L'Oreal, koska hiuksesi ovat sen arvoisia. Voi hitto, se on Slimer! Miksi limainen haamu kuulostaa samalta kuin yksisarvisen poikanen? Ei hitto. Oi hitto, Optimus on pahis. Optimus on paha, niin kuin Michael Bayn elokuvissa. Optimus Prime haluaa sun naamas. I am the Dungeon Master. I am Snape, the Potions Master. Hordak! Oh yeah, hyvin sidottu naisia taas tässä ohjelmassa.
Of him to throw these kids into a dangerous world with the bare minimum to survive, and basically tells them, here's some things that might be important, figure it out, geniuses, and then he disappears. On the other hand, the best parts of the show is watching the kids pull through from a tough situation. They have to persevere, work together, and often think outside the box, which is basically how Dungeons and Dragons is supposed to be played. At least in theory, that's how it's supposed to work. But that's pretty much how the show goes. The kids go on some quest to either help someone or follow a lead to a portal home, which usually gets messed up somehow.
Eli on kuin Samurai Jack. Joskus Jack etsii vaan tietä kotiin ja joskus se vaan sekoilee turhaan päin jossain paikassa ilman mitään syytä. Sen takia Samurai Jack on niin maailman paras animaatiosarja universumissa. Meillä on nää miekat, ei lyödä näillä miekoilla. Joo, satuttaminen on epämukavaa, ei me haluta lyödä ketään. Ei sitä tyyppiä, joka haluaa tappaa meidät. Voi hitto, meistä tulee vellihousuja, kun me katsotaan tätä. Me estetään ihmiskunnan kehittyminen.
How many dwarves does it take to change a light bulb? None! They can't reach it!
Ouch. Ouch. Mikä on valon katkaisija? Tää on keskiaikaisfantasia. Stop! In the name of love.
There was still lots of danger and disturbing imagery in most of the episodes. I'm surprised how much they got away with considering the restrictions. It's shocking. I've never seen a show push the envelope so much and yet be so restricted. It's kind of an anomaly. And keep in mind, this was '83. There wasn't much else like this show at the time. And it was a little bit before Hasbro showed up to traumatize your childhood with stuff like Transformers and Inhumanoids. You know, now that I think about it, a lot of 80s cartoons were kind of messed up.
Yo.
But that's why 80s kids are the best. We stare down danger right in the face and never look back.
They're simply the best. Dun, 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 better than all the rest. Hei, tossa oli Harry Potterin shakkilauta. Hitto, jos Harry Potter olisi tullut 80-luvulla niin ja siitä olisi tehty animaatiosarja, niin se näyttäisiköhän se tältä. Beholder!
Must also be weak to plot armor. Oh, and again, this was co-created by Marvel, so they threw in a few references, including a cameo from Man-Thing, or at least a monster that looks like him, kinda. You know, at one point they meet a guy with a magic hammer. They should have had him dressed up like Thor. Missed opportunity. They also meet these Ewok Care Bear things that I'm pretty sure aren't from Dungeons and Dragons.
Ei hitto, meidän pitää näitä söpöjä, ja meidän pitää rip-offata Star Warsia. Koska Star Wars ja Dungeons and Dragons on niin samanlaisia sarjoja ja median tuotoksia. Joskus täytyy vaan parastaa satunnaisista lähteistä asioita.
Of his big sister, which might imply they might not have a good home life. Even the items they use seem to reflect their personalities or interests. Like it's revealed that Diana is
meidän pitää pelata Dungeons of Dragonsia, mutta me ei saada tuhota hirviöitä. Diana Prince, Princess of Themyscira.
Hank helping out Diana with a boy she likes. I think I'm beginning to see why he's the leader. We find out that Presto likes to do magic tricks.
No, it's real. We're lost. Tell our parents. I'm sure. Look, I'll see you in the morning at school, okay? Then you can show me another one of your dumb card tricks, eh, Presto?
So I guess Presto is a nickname, and they never say what his real name is. And of course, Bobby, being the youngest and most energetic and headstrong, gets the big destructive club.
All right, leave her to me. Bobby, don't. She's indestructible.
Indestructible.
Jenkins' school of battle strategy. The thing is, most people who watch this show rarely get past the first season, and will judge it by the flaws a lot of shows have at the beginning. Fortunately, I'm not most people, and I watched the entire thing.
Noni.
And I can say for sure that things did seem to improve as the series went on. There was more danger, more interesting episodes, and even a bit of growth in some of the characters. Hank had to make tough decisions, Presto's magic seemed to work a bit better, and even Eric stepped up a bit. He still complained every now and then, but there were a few moments where he really shined. He still proved loyal to his friends and even took charge of the group when they all thought Hank was dead. And being the one who wants to go home the most, whenever they had the opportunity to do so, something would usually prevent them, and he'd always do the right thing and head back. This brings me to the show's biggest flaw. So the kids are constantly looking for a way home.
Niin.
Dungeon Master sends them on quests to find some magic or a portal or something that'll take them
Niin.
back. Then something will keep them from going, but usually someone they meet will benefit from it. Rinse and repeat. But Dungeon Master actually had a reason for bringing them to this realm. It's implied several times that Venger is really Dungeon Master's son who had been corrupted by evil magic, and he needs the kids to help make him good again. Do you see the problem here? If their purpose for being here is to help save his son, then why does he keep leading them to ways they can get home? This is like a cruel joke. Why doesn't he just tell them the truth? It's like in Samurai Jack when he keeps trying to go home but gets stopped.
Hey!
That's what he's supposed to be doing. He needs to go back to the past to stop Aku. He wasn't being led around by a misleading little troll. What would happen if they actually made it back home? His plans would be ruined. Or, in a more likely scenario, one of them gets killed. It's even revealed later on that other people have come here from the real world, even through the same carnival ride. Who knows how many there have been and ended up dying here.
Nee.
You got blood on your hands there, DM. What makes things worse is the series is incomplete. 28 episodes were planned, but only 27 were fully produced. However, there's a reading of the script of the final episode in the DVD set that mostly wraps things up.
Yeah.
And I even found a video on YouTube that uses a fan-made comic as a visual aid for the audio.
No niin.
So if you want some closure for the series...
No aika mielenkiintoista.
Speaking of episodes, before we end, let's talk about a few that I thought stood out. In episode 4, they run into a wizard that's stealing the horns of unicorns and kidnaps Uni.
Näettekö tämän yksisarvisen sarvia? No! You must die! Voi.
I must thank you, Kelek, for keeping the unicorn horns. For keeping them safe for me.
I think Venger is in cahoots with Tyrek.
Tyrek.
The kids finally grow frustrated with always looking for a way home, only to be met with disappointment. So they decide to end Venger once and for all. They even lose their patience with Dungeon Master. Can't say I blame them. They ultimately get him trapped, but they choose to not kill him. This was one of the episodes deemed inappropriate since the kids contemplated killing their enemy. But I think that's a load of crap since they end up not doing it because they would end up no better than he was. And I think that's an important thing for a kids show. This was also one of the episodes that connected the storyline of Venger being Dungeon Master's son.
Rise, my son.
Probably would have been a good storyline if they had the opportunity to finish it. In episode 22, an evil being gets unleashed that's even more powerful than Venger and Dungeon Master, and it's wreaking havoc across the realm.
Maybe we should...
Put the dice away before I take them away.
They regroup in the underworld and decide to join forces to try and stop it, but when they return to the surface, it's disappeared.
Gone to reach outwards. Still, we may have little time.
Until what?
Until he returns.
Yeah, he's just gone off to destroy the
Yeah! Se on vain Galactus, joka tuli tuhoamaan maailmoja. Ketä kiinnostaa?
Alright, how about some more controversy? In episode 26, Venger finds a way to reach into the past and take people from different eras of Earth's history. He's doing this to find a very specific type of bad guy.
I require a warrior from a very specific time. A time when their world was torn by war.
This is going exactly where you think it's going. So yeah, he brings a World War II German pilot to their world. They don't say exactly what he is, but it's pretty obvious what he is.
No.
And I'm not going to say it just in case YouTube demonetizes me. However, this particular soldier wasn't happy with how things were being run back home and sees this as an opportunity to start over. So he ends up helping the kids stop Venger in the end. What's interesting is he's kind of based off of a real person.
Listen, Mr.
Müller. Josef Müller.
While there was a Josef Merler at the time, he wasn't a pilot, but rather a politician who was part of the resistance in Germany. So it's partially...
Ha.
what might be my favorite episode. In episode 12, the kids run into these young children who say Venger has stolen their elder as well as their ship. And I'm not talking about a boat. It's over there.
Shh. Niin.
Yeah, they're aliens. You know, I've seen other people's reviews of this show. Why does nobody talk about this episode? They just decided to throw aliens into the fantasy world of Dungeons.
Niin, ei se on mahdotonta, kun World of Warcraftissakin on avaruusolioita, mutta mutta luulisi jo sellaisessa keskiaikaisfantasiassa, kuten tai kevyessä fantasiassa olevan sellainen juttu, että kun siellä on taikuutta ja hirviöitä ja kaikkea muuta, niin sun ei tarvitse niin kuin tuoda avaruusolioita mukaan. Sä voit, jos sä haluat, mutta miksi sä ihmeessä haluaisit?
Which means now they're very expensive. So if anyone finds them cheap at a flea market or something, get them immediately. And then send them to me. I feel like this show could greatly benefit from a reboot. The game is as popular as it's ever been. The show even still gets referenced in popular media all the time. And in the game Baldur's Gate 2, you can actually see portraits of Hank and Bobby as Easter eggs. Introducing this to a new audience could be very easy. Unfortunately, because this was produced by Marvel, most of the rights are now in the hands of Disney. And just like with a lot of stuff they've acquired, they're doing nothing with it. Another piece of ripe media that people like left to rot in the Disney vault.
No sepäs mukavaa.
For now, I'd say this show is still worth a watch. And maybe someday we'll get to see the kids go on adventures again. You know, it's a shame. Most other adaptations of Dungeons and Dragons don't usually work out so well. And unfortunately, next time, we'll be looking at another one. I said I was no longer going to tease the next review in these videos, but this time I gotta make it.
Meillä on... Voi ei, Dragon Lancer, voi ei saakeli, miksi ihmeessä? Jenkins. Meidän pitää seurata planeetta Robia ikuisesti. Ja taas uusi Cartoon Clip Show, ei saakeli. Näitä on paljon. Transformers. Ei Inhumo. Voi ei, pyöritään. Saber Spark. Leo the Lion. Leo the Lion. Joo, mä oon kattonut kyllä Saber Sparkin muita videoita. En muista, onks mä näyttänyt. Että kyseisen jääkarhujakson. Ja Leo the Lion näkyy varmaan Amerikassa Netflixissä, joten jos hankit itselle ne amerikkalaisen käyttäjätunnuksen, niin päästä sitä katsomaan sitten.
Sure, man. As if there could be a movie that's worse than Leo the Lion.
Siinä ei ole sitten suomalaisia tekstityksiä, jos vaihdatte teidän IP-tunnuksen amerikkalaiseksi, mutta en mä tiedä. My Jack!
Pick up your stuff, Joshua.
Blenderillä tehty kristillinen animaatioelokuva.
In my Leo the Lion video, I criticize it on 5 things: animation, story, dialogue, editing, and voice acting. And yet, Joshua and the Promised Land just completely obliterates Leo the Lion in every category. Well, except for one, but just barely. And that's on a technicality. Guys, I truly believe this is the worst animated film ever made, and I will show you why.
No!
No!
Animation. What's there to say? It is disgusting. Like, the worst part about this movie. The characters look terrible, with their naked bodies and uncanny valley faces. The voices of the characters don't even sync up. And to top it all off, the movement. Time and time again, I saw these characters glitch through their bodies, or move in a way that shouldn't be possible. Body parts freaking out because the character model is having a meltdown.
No se on semmonen...
Voice acting. You know, I never thought I would look back on Leo the Lion as a positive. In hindsight, the voice acting in that film is superior. In this movie, it's just some kid and a few
Blenderissäkin on pari sellaista ihmisluurankoja, joita voi käyttää defaulttina, mutta ei ne toimi kaikilla malleilla.
I mean, it's so bad. There are moments where I can't hear the characters talk. I mean, I don't really want to hear them talk, but if you can't even hear them speak, then I'm gonna miss out on what's going on.
Moses said God promised a land to our ancestors.
Mooses sanoi, että luvattu maa on Abrahamin maa.
Dialogue.
I'm hungry. Would you mind fetching a quail so we can eat?
No problem, Your Eminence.
You can call me Moses, Joshua.
Yes, sir, Moses.
Yes, sir, Moses.
Oh, there it is.
Story. Okay, so this one's weird because the premise comes from the Bible, and the Bible has some pretty interesting stories. The Prince of Egypt is an incredible movie and is one of my favorite films ever.
You've chosen the wrong messenger. How can I even speak to these people? Who made man's mouth? Who made the deaf, the mute, the seeing, or the blind? Did not I? Now go!
Moses, I shall be with you when you go to the king of Egypt.
Joo, mutta toisaalta...
On the other hand, you got this.
Moses, this is what you are to say to the people of Israel.
Voi ei, palava pensas.
What I did to Egypt.
Wait, I got another one. The Prince of Egypt?
Palava pensas on pelkkä renderöinti-efekti. Katso, se on tulitornado.
And Joshua in the Promised Land.
Taas jotain huonoja efektejä on. Revontulet. Ah!
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the Bible has plenty of interesting stories, and the book of Joshua is no exception. Yet, this movie does the impossible and ruins this story. It feels disjointed, and all of these other factors, like the animation and voice acting, do not help the story in the slightest.
Joo.
Alright, so I did some research and tried to find out about the origin of this film. What I discovered was, interesting. Jim Line is the guy who's responsible for all of this. It took this fella 4 years to make this film. He directed it.
Ja näin näytteli siinä, hän tuotti tämän ja
final product came out in 2004.
hän myös otti kaikki rahat itse.
Come on, Saber. It took this guy 4 years to make this all by himself. Lay off. Well, I don't feel that way. What if I took 10 years to make a sculpture and the final product looked like this? Do I get a free pass? No, you shouldn't. If it looks like garbage, guess what? It looks like garbage, no matter how it was done.
No ei, animaatio on helppoa, ei.
But this guy still sunk all of his time and effort making a film that does not look good. And I don't know what his angle was. To make money, to get popular, to praise God, to show off? Seriously, I have no idea. But the final product looks like absolute trash. I looked at his filmography to see what he's worked on in the past, and there's not much. He worked on The Summoned in 1992, which there's like nothing about, Joshua and the Promised Land in 2004, and then something called Gorgeous Nights in 2011, where he worked on that film as an animator. Luckily, I was able to find this on YouTube. It is, it's pretty bad.
En mä tiedä, autolla ajaminen näyttää ihan hyvältä joissain kohdissa. Transformers. Voi ei, tää on kuin Incredible Mulk.
You would think after 11 years, Jim Lyon would be a better animator. Nope, he still sucks.
Good night, sweetheart.
Verisuonia luokses pompi.
Also, the credit sequence from this film does not make any sense. Are they playing tic-tac-toe? Bingo? Whose name is for what picture?
Plot to assassinate her are orchestrated by the world's most powerful, violent, vicious human traffickers.
Okay, so let's get back to Joshua and the Promised Land. I see a review here on dove.org. Joshua and the Promised Land comes as a heartwarming tale for the whole
älkää edes mainitko C.S. Lewista ja Tolkienta samassa lauseessa tämän elokuvan kanssa.
This movie literally shares nothing in common with those films, whether it be Narnia or Lord of the Rings. Nothing. And I'm actually quite insulted that they would say that to begin with.
No mitä?
Oh, but here's the best part of all. The computer-generated animation took over 4 years to complete, and it shows. What? What do you mean it shows? If anything, it shows how much of a waste of time it was. My friend Tommy Oliver makes better models on his own, and it does not take him 4 years.
No se riippuu siitä.
Let's just try and stomach
No se nyt riippuu siitä, jos sä yksin teet animaatioelokuvan, niin se voi näyttää tosi huonolta ja sä voit tehdä sitä 10 vuotta, etkä sä saa sitä siltikään valmiiksi tai niin hyväksi kuin ikinä saat, mutta ihmisten täytyy silti vielä työskennellä ja syödä ja nukkua.
And boom, there he is, the
Lepakko.
And the guy looks like Piglet if he survived a nuclear holocaust. Oh, and check out that wonderful background. Reminds me of my grandmother's house.
The Bible tells the story of a young man named Joshua, who was strong and full of courage.
Within 5 seconds, I knew I signed my soul away, as naked Joshua skips throughout the house. And for some reason, Jim Lyon thought it would be smart to put scenes that are in the movie later on.
No kun ei ollut muita kuvia. Mä olisin voinut ottaa Googlesta jotain tekijän oikeudettomia kuvia, jotka on julkisessa käytössä, mutta ei viitsinyt.
Other things I've got to do.
Right, like tinkering around with that car again.
Hey, come on. This is my day off. This is what I'm gonna do.
Day and what I gonna do.
What I'm gonna do.
Like, seriously, I thought he was gonna beat his wife.
Well, if you would just stop spending so much time on that car of yours, I wouldn't get so upset.
So poor Joshua goes up to his room to sleep, I guess. But we are once again visited by the narrator.
As you can see, Joshua feels kind of lost in the shuffle, and he doesn't know where to turn.
The narrator overall is completely useless.
Älä sinä kerro kenen pitäisi olla ja kenen ei pitäisi olla.
Who are you? Some people call me the best friend, but my real name is Christopher Andrew Eugene Bazio. But it's okay if you don't like it. Just call me Chris.
So this is Joshua's
Bargioni
or something. Though he looks like a reject Five Nights at Freddy's character who got caught in static limbo. Something I mentioned before, but want to bring up again, is how the character's model.
Miksi ette vaan tehnyt sitä hahmomallia uudestaan? Ei tossa ole niin paljon monimutkaisia muotoja, että tota ei voisi tehdä uudestaan. Mutta ei, piti mennä siitä, mistä aita on matalin.
Hey, I promise that I will have you back in time for dinner.
I don't know.
Come on.
Musta tuntuu, että tässä on vaan sama malli, missä joillakin on vähän erilaisia yksityiskohtia muutettuna. Joillakin on hiukset, joillakin on leijonaharja, joillakin on viikset, joillakin on korvat eri lailla laitettu. Mikä on aika helppo tehdä 3D-animaatiolla, jossa vaan niinku tallennat alkuperäisen version ja sitten kun sä sitten muutat sitä alkuperäistä versiota ja tallennat sen toisena.
So they are
Vihreä
soaring through
taivas.
this green sky and then warp into the past, which for some reason they use the sound effect from 3D Pinball Space Cadet.
Well,
Mä pelasin tätä pinballia koulun koneella. Niin paljon muistoja.
They arrive in ancient Egypt, and we are told that Moses and the Jews are on the run. Also, we get this wonderful bit of animation where Joshua somehow rotates around the pyramid. This movie is full of this stuff, though. You'll see characters clipping through stuff all the time.
Tiikari. Ja tiikereillä on hevosia, okei.
So that's the pharaoh who is some kind of cat thing.
Minusta alkaa tuntua, että tämä tyyppi päätti tehdä leijonia sen sijaan, että ihmisiä, koska lapset tykkää enemmän eläinhahmoista kuin ihmishahmoista, ja B, mä en halua nähdä, miltä tämä animaattori näyttää, jos tekee oikeasti ihmishahmoisia ihmisiä.
That's the presence of God there protecting the Hebrews. No man can touch it and live.
Come on!
I mean, hey, maybe he wants to die. After watching this movie, I want to die too.
Miksi suojeluenkeli laittoi tämän aikamatkalle keskelle Egyptiä?
And the guardian angel says something that's kind of rapey.
Listen, Joshua. Sometimes a no means maybe. I'll grant you that. But when it comes from God, a no means no. Capiche?
Capiche? You're associating Italian Americans to intimidation tactics?
Also, the background is blurred. Maybe they're trying to create perspective, but to me, all it does is make it look like they're very small. And there's Moses. You could tell because
hänellä on, se on ihan selvästi parta. Näetkö miten miten Blender Paintillä on niinku toi parta värjätty pikkasen valkoisemmaksi kuin toi iho-osuus. Eikä kellään ole karvoja tässä maailmassa.
Obviously requires him to possess a person.
Just hold your breath a second. This isn't gonna hurt.
What is it?
Oh!
Are you in any pain?
Yes, constantly. With that,
se on
Joshua
elämään.
So the Egyptians arrive and charge across to kill the Jews. But the presence of God has other plans, as the fire effect lazily goes across the screen. Seriously, the Prince of Egypt has nothing on this
Egyptin prinssi, mitä idiootteja. Ei minkäänlaista yritystä tässä näy. Tää on Oscarin arvoinen suoritus. Ai niin. No niin. Oi. Pul. Ei toi. Ja haita vieläpä tuli.
So begins the 40 years in the desert, as Moses tries to keep the Jews happy.
So
they're all really hungry. Miksi toi suojelushenkilö ja kertoja ei voi olla sama hahmo? Onks tää niinku joku vaan semmonen juttu, että me voidaan mennä sieltä mistä aika on matali, mutta jos me mennään mistä aista on toiseksi matali, niin kukaan ei voi syyttää meitä laiskoiksi.
What in the hell is happening to this poor bird's leg? Like, look at it.
No se ei oo rikattu kunnolla.
Why does it look like a pickle when it's cooked?
I'm hungry. Would you mind fetching a quail so we can eat?
No problem, Your Majesty.
No problem, Your Eminence.
You can call me Moses, Joshua.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Moses.
Yes, sir, Moses.
Joshua, I want you to pitch your tent next to mine from now on.
Good night, everybody.
Now it's time for a glorious battle scene. And who better to lead the forces of God than an 8-year-old boy with zero combat experience? Also,
älkää oikeasti
in this movie.
All right, everybody. Let's beat these guys.
So inspiring. Could you imagine if Aragorn said the same thing during the Black Gate?
All right, everybody.
Mutta se ei tule olemaan tänään, tämä päivä.
Dude, Battle of the Bastards wish it looked this good. Also, I swear, I hear the of SpongeBob in the background. So it took me a couple times of watching this movie, but this guy throws a spear and hits Joshua.
Parin oluen jälkeen tämä elokuva voi näyttää vieläpä ihan hyvältä.
And here's a highlight reel of some of my favorite moments during this battle.
Ja kuolleita ihmisiä. Tää näyttää niin hassulta. Kuolema ja verta ja tappaminen. Paras ikinä.
Just a reminder, this guy is actually 8 years old.
Niin.
And there he is, killing people. But after a hard-fought battle, the day is won, as the bad guys skip off and retreat.
Hei lapset, masentaako sua? Ei se mitään. Osallistu sotaan, ryhdy lapsisotilaaksi.
That goes from hooray to hooray! So God shows up the next day, and Moses and Joshua go up into the mountain to get the 10 Commandments. When they get back, though, they discover that the Jews are worshiping some golden calf, and Moses freaks out.
There's a sound of war in the camp.
No, Joshua. It is not the sound of victory or of defeat that I hear. It is the sound of singing. No!
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 Moses then punished the Jews by making them break down the cow, pour the powder into some water, and then told them to drink it.
Finally, he made all the people who broke the law drink the water. Yuck.
Okay, that one might be on you, Bible. Moses then goes up to the mountain, and a lightsaber cuts out. I'm so sorry, this is so stupid. I kid you not. I can't say this without laughing. Moses goes up to the mountain and a lightsaber shoots out of the sky. And you can actually hear the lightsaber sound.
Skywalker sound on niin ylpeä, kun heidän äänitehosteitaan käytetään ilman lupaa. Ei kuulosta edes valosapelulta.
So the Jews finally arrive to the promised land. But, spoiler alert, there's a bunch of bad guys there. So Joshua is sent as a spy to go see what's going on. It's pretty fantastic, because Joshua is one of the best spies ever. I mean, most spies hide or
Jericho.
But, no, not Joshua. He just walks right in.
Siinä on kyltti roomalaisilla kirjaimilla.
There, Jericho, in case you were confused. But to be fair, the people from Jericho are just as dumb. I mean, this is a race of red-horned bulls or something. And here you got this lion walking around. Never seen him before. Nah, he's cool. Don't worry about it. Let's get back to sacrificing this baby.
Joo.
So Joshua gets back and has a chat with the angel. He tells the angel that Jericho is a pretty bad place and does things like adultery.
They murder, they steal, they commit adultery.
What's that?
Never mind that.
Oh yeah, don't talk about sex. But please, by all means, go back to killing people. Joshua and his friend Caleb tell Moses
Voi ei, maa on vaarallinen. Maa on niin vaara. Kirkastuvat kasvot.
Right in the face.
Our wives and children will be taken as plunder.
We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt.
The land we explored is very good.
Please go to your tents. I will ask God for guidance.
Donut. Donut.
We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt.
They use that voice recording twice. God tells Moses that he and the Jews screwed up, and that those who are over 20 cannot go into the promised land. So that left Joshua in charge, and he and the rest of the Jews went to Jericho to go take the city. So the narrator enters the movie and talks to Joshua.
Are you for us or for our enemies?
Neither, but as commander of the army of the Lord, I have now come.
What message does my lord have for his servant?
The place where you are standing is holy.
The plan is for the Jews to loudly go around the city blowing on basically trumpets, and do that for about, I think it was 12 days. But the Red Bulls see them and sound their
nenästä, soittaa sitä torvea nenästä.
As they can.
Red Bullia. Oliko niillä sitä Red Bullia?
But the battle never happens, and instead, the king gets his royal lazy boy and watches the Jews from his castle.
It appears to be a ritual to bolster the confidence of their troops, Your Highness.
What's with the guy and saying S?
Yes!
Sire, sir.
Ootko sä niinkun Megatron Beast Warsista?
And the enemy yes! And the clipping of the sound go off the chart.
So much for that fearsome god of theirs.
And then the craziest part of this movie happens.
Voi ei. Mä oon aika kolossaalinen titani tähän verrattuna. Olevan se ja mä piirsin sen hiekkaan. Au. Mikä ihme tuo on? Aurinko?
So I went to a Christian private school when I was a kid. So I know a couple of things about the Bible. That being said, I have no idea what this red thing is. It's just some floating red fiery lion head. And it follows Joshua.
Aurinko päätti retken.
So Joshua finally returns home. And by the way, guys, check out this poster behind him. Seriously, it's
super
a lion on a skateboard. All right, so it's time for Joshua to say goodbye to his angel. And so we see one of the most awkward hugs in cinematic history.
Aww.
You'll get over it. Freak. Anyway, you're late for dinner, which was not my fault. So I've got to go.
I mean, it's not my fault that you're 40 years late to dinner. But the devil lion head thing comes back for revenge. And Joshua and him have a sword fight. A sword fight that is completely useless. The lion head just flies into the wall and dies. And then turns into a Snickers bar.
Voi ei se muuttuu Snickersiksi. Yeah.
We see Joshua's parents fighting at the dinner table, but Joshua sits down to enjoy his
Meillä on leipää ja kanankoipi ja muussia.
Which makes them all nice for some reason.
I'm sorry I yelled at you, honey.
It's okay. I forgive you.
It's okay. I forgive you.
I'll try to spend
Vaikka minun toinen korvani onkin
with both of you.
harjan peitossa.
So this movie was just terrible. It strikes out in nearly every category. As I showed you, the animation is atrocious, with horrible designs and movement that constantly clips through itself. The voice acting is trash. Unlike Leo the Lion,
kuulostaa varmaan tyhmältä, mutta
here, the voice actors are
tää ei siltikään ole huonoin elokuva, mitä mä olen ikinä nähnyt. Mä olen nähnyt niin huonoja elokuvia elämäni aikana, että oksat pois.
Pick up your stuff, Joshua.
Need I say more? The story is the only saving grace for this movie, and that's because it comes from the Bible. Leo the Lion had a worse story, but at least it was original. Here, they borrowed from a source, and they practically crapped all over it.
In the Bible, it says that God freed the Jews from slavery, but the Pharaoh didn't want to let them go. He's out there in the desert right now planning to recapture the slaves. Not a good idea.
No! Overall, this movie makes Leo the Lion look like an award-winning film. There might be some worse films out there, but as far as I'm concerned, this one is the absolute
En mä
worst.
nyt tiedä,
Do
ainakaan
not watch it.
Ainakaan tää elokuva ei aina mitään huonoja viestejä lapsille, paitsi että murha on ok sodassa.
He's gonna take that big bad he is, and he's gonna beat your ass to death with it.
Mutta joo, sodassa tehdään paljon ikäviä asioita. Se ei ole kovin paljon kaukaa haettua, että sodassa kuolee ihmisiä. Onpas hieno 4 tuossa oikealla. Se on kyllä jotakin. Taasko? Siinä oli kaiken näköisiä tilpehöörejä.
Well, here we are. I made it to 100 reviews. And it took me about 8 years to get here.
Aikaansa kullakin.
I am not efficient. The original Thundercats was produced by Rankin Bass Production and ran from 1995
Mä en oo kattonut alkuperäistä Thundercatsia, mä katsoin vaan Thundercats 2011 vuoden version. 2011 vuoden version.
Seasons 2 through 4 add up to the same amount of episodes as season 1. It's even divided like that on the DVD release. Of course, I have the complete series, and not to boast or anything, but I got one autographed by Larry Kenny, the voice of Lion-O. I met him a few times, actually.
Yeah.
Really nice guy, by the way. Yeah, that's right. I met Lion-O for real.
Joo, ja Lion on alkuperäinen näyttelijä 80-luvun versiossa. Ääni näyttelee Lion-Olin isää tuossa 2011 vuoden versiossa.
The Thundercats toys were really cool because they were bigger than most other figures, and they were made by
bigger! Mikä on pakko olla isompia? Tehkää ne isommiksi.
People seem to forget that they also made toys. Well, at least their toys were better than their games. And on a more personal note, Thundercats is one of the very first cartoons I remember watching when I was a kid, and it opened my eyes to a whole new world of possibilities, adventure, and imagination.
Thundercats ei tainnut koskaan tulla Suomeen. Kuka tietää, miten Thundercats Roarille sitten tapahtuu? Näytetäänkö sieltä HBO:n kanavalla?
It's been a while since I've seen it. I think the last time I actually watched it was when it aired during the original Toonami run. Well, I guess it's time to watch it again and see if it's as good as I remember. Otherwise, that rant I went on at the end of my last video is going to be meaningless.
Joo, vähän.
The show opens with the Thundercats fleeing from their doomed home of Thundera as we see them watch it explode.
Thundera.
And they're naked for some reason. Kinda
Kaikki on
takes away from
alasti.
the drama of the situation. Yeah, we just started and we're already at one of the most infamous moments from the show. The supposed reason is that they were so used to the environment on their planet that they simply didn't need them, and as they leave, they're given clothes to help protect them from harsh environments. Even though not much gets covered up in some cases, and later on in the show we see Thunderians on Thundera wearing clothes. So I don't know what the point of all this was.
Jokaisella jaksolla oli eri käsikirjoittaja.
Really wanted to see Chitara's tits. Also, how come they don't got any you know what? We got a lot of show to sift through, so let's just move on before we overthink this too much. And this video gets demonetized. And I get arrested. Anyway, as they watch their home get destroyed, Jaga, the oldest and wisest of the Thundercats, tells the young Prince Lion-O that he must one day lead the Thundercats and wield the powerful Sword of Omens.
Thundera is gone, but the code of Thundera will live as long as you, as Lord of the Thundercats, carry it in your heart. It will be your sacred duty to rule according to that code in our new home.
I know this is a lot of responsibility to put on a 12-year-old, but everyone is counting on you. No pressure, though. Suddenly, they get attacked by mutants from the nearby planet Plundar, and their ship gets damaged. Because of this, their trip is going to take much longer, and they have to go into sleep chambers. But in order to ensure their safety during their journey, Jaga spends the remainder of his life piloting the ship.
I can't go on. I pray.
Pakko mennä syömään ja käymään vessassa.
That is badass. Their ship eventually
Joo, mutta minkä takia hän ei voinut laittaa autopilotin niinku heti, vai oliko siinä juttuna se, että hän laittoi autopilotin niin vasta sen jälkeen, kun ei enää jaksanut ohjata itse?
Let's recap. This show is about a group of aliens fleeing their doomed planet, one of whom dies to ensure their safe travel. They crash land on an alien world where they have to learn to survive while their leader adjusts to the fact that he's a 12-year-old in a man's body. That is some pretty heavy stuff for a kid's cartoon meant to sell action figures. So let's meet our heroes. There's Wily Kit and Wily Cat, the Thunder Kittens. Two mischief-making little brats that are usually causing some trouble. Their weapons of choice are lassos and capsules filled with various concoctions. Also, grenades, apparently. At least according to
Granaatteja!
Later on, they even get hoverboards to cruise around on. When I was a kid, I thought they were the coolest kids ever. Now that I'm a responsible adult, they're still pretty cool. Chitara, who's the fastest on the team and wields a retractable bow staff. She also has some kind of psychic power, but she uses it when only absolutely necessary, as it takes a toll on her both physically and mentally. Then there's Tigra, who's arguably the most intelligent of the group, as he has advanced engineering knowledge and designs a lot of the equipment they build when they settle into their new home. He also wields a whip that turns him invisible so he can sneak around. He's basically a nerdy cat ninja.
Tässä ei ole mitään järkeä.
Then we have Panthro, the team's other engineer and mechanic. Throughout the series, he builds their vehicles, including the iconic Thunder Tank. That's so badass it has its own theme song.
Joo, hyvä tankki. Toivottavasti kukaan ei vain keksi ampua teitä siihen kohtaan, missä se tankki ei suojaa teitä.
Who's driving my Thunder Tank? When I catch that tank snapper, I'll smash him into sonic smithereens!
Though there were times where he might have been a bit too prideful.
Look out! Hey! I thought you said this thing was impenetrable!
Nobody's perfect.
He's also super strong and wields some badass nunchucks, and the spikes on his suspenders can do stuff like this. How? I don't know, don't question it. Which brings us to Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats. He wields the Sword of Omens, and embedded in the hilt is the Eye of Thundera, the most powerful treasure of the Thundercats. The sword can come to Lion-O whenever he calls it, warn him of danger, reveal the truth when he stares into it, and it can call the Thundercats and even supercharges them when a situation is dire.
Joo. Thundercats ho!
The downside is that the eye is also the life force of the Thundercats, so if something happens to it, it could mean doom for the team. Now, being a child trapped in a man's body, Lion-O is often brash, immature, and even a bit naive. There were a lot of bad situations that happened because he was a bit too trusting. So you'd think him having such an important and powerful item might be a bad idea. Fortunately, the sword knows when it's being used irresponsibly, and Lion-O also has a few diligent guides to help him. Jaga's spirit shows up to give guidance when he needs it. He's kind of the Thundercats equivalent to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ei sillä ole väliä, jos kuolee, sillä sä voit tulla takaisin haamuna. Okei. Okay.
Do you understand?
Well, yes, John.
Do you understand?
I think his advice could be a bit more clearer.
Take care that your dream does not turn into a
nightmare.
That's all you're
Voi
getting. Good luck,
vitsi.
asshole. Also helping out Lion-O is his loyal companion and caregiver since he was young. Younger. Snarf can easily be tossed into that category of comedic and sometimes annoying sidekick characters that were in a lot of 80s cartoons.
Sen takia Snarf ei puhunut 2011 vuoden versiossa.
Not belong in this category. Anyone who thinks so is wrong, and I'm about to tell you why. First of all, he's a loyal friend and genuinely cares about Lion-O and the rest of the Thundercats' well-being. He even cooks for them despite that even they sometimes give him a hard time.
It's suddenly awfully cold in here.
Whoa, it sure is.
It's the door! Someone left it open!
Snarf?
No, it wasn't me.
Yeah, about that. Snarf also never backs down from a fight. When the others are in trouble, he's right beside them fighting along, and even if he gets captured, he still gives the bad guys an attitude.
Where were you rushing to, you furry fool? None of your bird-nosy business.
At one point, the Thundercats all get captured somehow, and Snarf rescues them. Maybe now Tigra will think twice before talking back to Snarf. In fact, there are many times where he's the one that saves the day. Nobody's allowed to make fun of Snarf ever again. And if you need more proof, check out the cover of one of the old Marvel comics. Yeah, look at it. That's badass. In fact, I can take this a step further, because throughout the series, it's implied that the Snarf race may be even more powerful than the Thundercats. At one point, Jaga says something about them being the most pure beings in the galaxy, and because of that, they're immune to a lot of magic.
In all the universe, there is only one species completely devoid of all evil capabilities. That is the Snarf.
And on top of that, they're very intelligent, hard-working creatures with extensive mechanical knowledge, and they can even pilot spaceships. But one thing I always found kind of odd was that we only ever see male Snarfs. In fact, there is only one scene in the entire series where we see a female Snarf. Are you ready for this? Ah!
Yes.
Look at it! Oh, it's all weird and creepy. Ugh.
Ei ihme, ettei naispuolisia Snarfeja olekaan.
Thundercats are back.
Thundercats are back
that's about enough
now.
of this Snarf rant. Let's get back on track. So the Thundercats build themselves a base out of the wreckage of their ship and make friends with some of the locals. But not all is well on Third Earth, as the mutants that attacked them previously have also set up a base. They are Slithe, the leader, Jackalman, the coward, Monkeyan, the monkey, and Vulture Man, the brains of the group. Which doesn't really say much. I think Monkeyan was always my favorite. His voice just cracks me up. But when they first arrive on Third Earth, they encounter the main villain of the series.
Mamra!
The ever-living, the shriveled corpse of an ancient sorcerer who may not look like much, but he's powered by pure evil.
Evil.
Transform this decayed form to Mumra, the ever-living!
Voi ei, tossa on ne patsaat Shazamista.
In addition, he knows all and can see everything inside of his cauldron. Now that the Thundercats are in his backyard, he's after the Eye of Thundera so he can become more powerful. And he uses every trick in the book to get it, from calling upon other villains ranging from almost as powerful as him, to low-level goons like the mutants, to various types of deception and even mind control. But he's not without his weaknesses. His powered-up form does have a time limit, and when he's weakened, he needs to return to his sarcophagus to rest. But his most fascinating weakness is he's afraid of his own reflection, which implies that he was once human and is disgusted by what he's become. Though they don't really go into it in the show. I do happen to have a comic that goes into his backstory. It talks about how he wanted to take power from the Pharaoh, so he became a servant of the ancient spirits of evil. It's pretty neat, but it came out long after the show had ended. Though I kind of like it like that because one of the cool things about the show was beyond all the regular stuff, there was an era of mystery. I mentioned before the planet they landed on was called Third Earth, which is Earth, sometime in the distant future. But you can barely tell because of how it looks now. Seems Earth is now populated by all kinds of magical creatures, anthropomorphic societies, fearsome monsters, and other alien refugees, like the Burbles. Adorable robot teddy bears from space that are awesome and totally could have had their own show.
Joo. Miksi kaikkialla on eevokkeja aina? Ai niin, koska on 80-luku ja Star Warsia on pakko referenssoida kaikkialla.
The only humans we see are either cyborgs, have been reduced to some kind of primitive state, or are in space. So, what happened to Earth? Throughout the series, we see the Thundercats make small discoveries relating to the former Earth, which are usually very interesting, like when they discover gold and consider it junk because they have no use for it.
Goodbye, junk.
Kulta on hyödytöntä.
Then there was this passing
What is in that gun?
An ancient formula, now a closely guarded secret. It used to be called soap.
So soap is a closely guarded secret now. Then how do people bathe?
Soppa vai saippua?
The future is gross. Some of the more interesting things were Mumra finding the legendary sword Excalibur and trying to use it to defeat the Sword of Omens.
Excalibur!
Which is one of the best episodes of Season 1 in my opinion. There's another pretty good episode where Lion-O and the kittens are in a mysterious tower full of traps and they discover the owner had been long dead in his treasure room. It's like something right out of Dungeons and Dragons. There's another episode where an ancient giant called the Ice King awakens and causes all kinds of trouble for everyone.
Ice King?
Turns out he just wanted to see his beloved from the past.
Hard to believe.
Vähän niinku Adventure Timeista. Toi on sama Ice King muuten.
From the past.
Koska Adventure Timein planeetta, niin kun sekin oli niin kun ydinsodan jälkeen tapahtunut maailma.
I haven't been worshipped for thousands of years. That's why I'm so weak.
This could have made for a very interesting plot point, but they don't do anything with it. We only see him once and that's it. And it kind of leads into one of the major problems with the series. They introduce a lot of cool stuff and it just goes nowhere. At one point, a character named Mumrana shows up, who I guess is supposed to be Mumra's good counterpart. You'd think that they'd make her an important character, right? Nope. We only see her in 2 episodes in the whole series, and that's it. One of the craziest things that happened was some
jumalallinen täydellinen olento. Ei referenssoida häntä enää ikinä.
Which I guess is the afterworld. Lion-O goes in to save him and some other guy, I guess. This could have been a huge deal. We meet a character able to subdue powerful spirits, but again, it's never brought up again, and we never see him again. Look, I know we're supposed to be focusing on the characters so we can sell action figures, but this always bugged me. There are 65 episodes in Season 1. You'd think they would spend a little bit more time at least going into what happened to Earth. It would have been cool to see the Thundercats maybe find the ruins of one of our modern-day cities and explore it. But that never happens. It would have been nice if they at least went into it a little bit. I think they imply that Mum-Ra had something to do with it, but they never explicitly say so. Or perhaps it was one of the other ancient villains they run into, like Groon the Destroyer, who is actually a former Thundercat and comrade of Jaga. But at one point
ympäripyöreäksi, niin me voidaan sanoa, että kaikki on mahdollista ja me voidaan sitten
until he was sealed away. By who?
Ottaa kaikki kunnia muiden ihmisten fanifiktiosta ja julistaa itsemme maailman neroiksi.
Again, this episode was really good. Jaga's spirit shows up to face him, and we get to see the ghosts of 2 cat warriors from space duel on a separate plane of existence. You know, when I explain it like that, it sounds pretty metal. Now that I think about it, there's a lot of undead stuff in this show. I already mentioned Mum-Ra and Groon, but there was this other guy, Mongor, who gets resurrected. Look at him! He's a freaking demon! Then there was this pirate named Hammerhand who died. Then Mum-Ra put his soul into a clone of Panthro for some stupid plan, but at the end of the episode he gets fully resurrected. Remember, this is a kids show. And being a kids show, we need to make toys. Which brings us to one of the best things about this show, its extensive cast of side characters.
Thanos.
There are villains like the evil mutant Rataro and Driller, who is often forced to do Mum-Ra's bidding. And of course, there are heroes. I already mentioned the Burbles, but there was also Hachiman, a samurai warrior from the past Mum-Ra called upon to fight Lion-O, but after seeing that he is a man of honor, he becomes his friend. There's Snowman, the Snowman. His name is also his race, apparently. Then there are the Tusker Warriors, a militia of gun-toting walrusmen. Huh, I think we found Jamie Heinemann's tribe. But there were a few characters who didn't get toys for some reason, like the Amazon Warriors, who appeared frequently in the series, and my personal favorite of the characters who didn't get an action figure, Mandora, the space cop that takes her job way too seriously.
Evil chaser
Space cop?
Mandora, interplanetary control force.
I'm writing you up for reckless rocketing and leaving the scene of a sideswipe. Now let me see your license and registration.
She always reminded me of Judge Dredd, just without all the killing. Also,
20 years!
What exactly does she
I am the law!
Galaxy? On that little bike? Jeez, no wonder she's always on edge.
Broken running lights, unreadable galaxy numbers, visible radioactive exhaust. I want to see your papers, mister.
In my opinion, Season 1 peaked with the 5-part story arc, Lion-O's Anointment. You see, the thing about the Thundercats is, you don't just become the leader. You gotta earn it. For 5 days straight, Lion-O had to prove his worth as leader by besting each of the Thundercats at their own special abilities. He needed to be stronger than Panthro, faster than Chitara, more cunning than the Thunder Kittens, and smarter than Tigra. Then his final challenge was to face Mum-Ra without the Sword of Omens, and he beat him! I really like this because it wasn't often back then you got to see a leader earn their place. And it shows that the greatest leaders are the best of everyone. The only thing is, it was originally broadcast over 5 days, which makes sense, and it even takes place over 5 days straight, but for some reason, the episodes are numbered with huge gaps in between. They didn't even fix this for the DVD release. Why? Still, I really like that story arc, but like I said, it's where Season 1 peaked. After watching all of the episodes, I came to the conclusion that the majority of the episodes are kinda the same. The Thundercats are doing something, Mum-Ra tries to use that against them by deceiving them, there's a fight that the Thundercats overcome, they learn some kind of lesson, end of episode, rinse and repeat. They did face some other villains, but many of them were just one-off villains that never got expanded upon, and ultimately the format remains the same. and oftentimes they just straight up recycle ideas. I know there were at least 2 episodes that had the same plot of some jerk from space who wants to fight the Thundercats just because, and have an obvious message about bullies. But that brings me to the worst part of the show. The obligatory lessons and morals for the kids. Of course, this kind of thing was everywhere in the 80s, but unlike shows like G.I. Joe that had separate segments unrelated to the episode, or Filmation cartoons that just shamelessly broke the fourth wall, Thundercats tried to integrate their morals into the episode, which can be good because many kids learn by example, but then they make the mistake of spelling it all out at the end of the episode in clumsy dialogue.
First impressions are often wrong. Trust is something that takes time to grow.
Yeah, that's great.
You made a mistake, but mistakes can be valuable if you learn from them.
Okay, we get it.
But without such
Vakoilu on väärin. Koskaan ei pitäisi vakoilla ihmisiä. Paitsi jos olet vakoja, sitten vakoile niin paljon
I should
kuvittaa.
never have fought him. Chitara was right. I let him get to me. And until I can control that, I've got a long way to go.
Enough! I'll be good, I swear! Just shut up! Look, there's nothing wrong with having a good message for the kids, especially back then when it was a federal mandate. But it always amazes me that this was never done in a more natural way, or at least in a way that didn't treat the kids like idiots. Though to be fair, the morals are good, and I dare say some of them still hold up today. In one episode, a mysterious spaceship crashes on Third Earth that somehow affects Chitara's psychic powers, but the mutants get a hold of it, and while Vulture Man tries to study it, the others want to destroy it.
I don't like it. I don't understand it. We should get rid of it.
Destroy it before it
Destroy.
harms us.
Yeah, I'd say that one holds up pretty well.
Warp gas.
I thought the Interstellar Council ruled against warp gas.
When did the mutants ever go by the rules?
Rules are only meaningful if people agree to follow them. Otherwise, they're just words.
That one definitely holds up. Then there was another episode where a scary-looking alien showed up at Cat's lair, and Lion-O and Snarf thought it was bad because of how it looked.
I am not your enemy.
Ha! You look pretty hostile to me.
What are you doing here anyway, you ugly monstrosity?
Me? Ugly? You are a fine one to talk, strange creature.
It was also being chased by a less creepy alien whom Lion-O assumed was good, but it turned out to be the bad one.
My sudden appearance must have alarmed you. But strange and frightening as I seem to you, so you appeared peculiar to me, and I did not know whether you would be hostile or friendly.
You know, sometimes I wonder about the kids that grew up watching this stuff. I mean, sure, it was annoying, but a lot of it was just common sense, and it had to sink in, right? What, were they just
Joskus täytyy sanoa yksinkertaiset asiat ääneen, mutta jos niitä sanoo koko ajan, niin sitten sinusta tulee vaan todella tylsistynyt.
But even so, the worst part of this show had to have been the animation. It's not very good. Look, I know this was the 80s and not every show can look as good as Mighty Orbots.
Niin, me voidaan animoida vain intro hyvin. Mitä taas tää jätkä?
So it's no wonder it looks a bit older than it actually is, but it's still quite distracting. And while watching this, I came to a horrifying realization. This show might not be as good as I remember. But that was just season 1.
Stay with us. Thundercats will be back after this.
After these messages.
Now, let's find the Thundercats.
Season 2 opened up with another 5-part story arc called Thundercats Ho! And fun fact, this was originally supposed to be a theatrically released film. However, due to Transformers the movie bombing at the box office, they instead recycled it and chopped it up into 5 episodes of the series.
Okay, kyllä sekin käy.
Yet another victim of the fallout from that movie. At first glance, you can kind of tell because the animation has greatly improved. Clearly a lot more time and effort went into this. The plot revolves around 3 survivors of Thundera who were rescued at the last minute by some burbles. See, I
No ei
told
tää
you
nyt
the burbles
super
were awesome.
paremmalta
And
näytä
it's
kuin se
discovered they
eka
end
osa.
up crashing on Third Earth. Because of course they do. Now the Thundercats must find them before Mumra does, and we get appearances from many of the heroes and villains we saw in Season 1 for an all-out action-packed adventure. Now this is the Thundercats I remember. There were even some cool new vehicles, like the Thundercats' new flying vehicles, and even the mutants got a new vehicle.
Ja mitä tulee noihin oppimisjuttuihin, niin on semmonen juttu, että joidenkin tuottajien oli välillä vaikea tuottaa jotakin lastenohjelmia täällä Amerikassa ja länsimaissa, jos ne ei sisältänyt minkäänlaisia opetuksia. Eikä ollut sellaisten sarjojen tuottaminen, jotka ei ollut lelumainoksia 80-luvulla, niin sellaisten sarjojen tuottaminen ei ollut kovin, tuottavaa. Joten sen takia niitä on niin vähän. Se on aina tärkeää, mikä on trendi sillä hetkellä, kun sitä animaatiota rupeaa tekemään.
Aw, he's an adorable little hellhound. At the end, Mumra is seemingly destroyed, and because of their bravery in the face of their various captors, the Thunderians are made into full-fledged Thundercats. There's Pumaira, who can jump high, I guess. Yeah, kinda got the short end of the stick when it comes to superpowers. Bengali, who's a master blacksmith and can even repair the Sword of Omens if it's damaged. He can also wield a hammer with such proficiency it would make Thor proud. Referencing another Marvel character, there's Linkso. During the destruction of Thundera, he was blinded, but since then his other senses were heightened, and he basically has Daredevil powers. His senses are so heightened that he can pilot a ship through a narrow mountain cave and out the other side by feeling alone. I don't know why they don't just fly over the mountain, but what do I know? If Lion-O's anointment was the peak of Season 1, then Thundercats Ho was the peak of the whole series. Sadly, afterwards, the animation quality dipped again, but it still looks a little bit better than Season 1. It looks like the characters are drawn a bit better, and I think they pop out more. I like to consider this a soft reboot because a lot of the previous plot points and stuff that didn't fit well with the rest of the series were dropped, and things were a bit more focused. The ancient spirits of evil resurrected Mumra, and he was far more powerful and aggressive than before, and they even removed his weakness to his own reflection.
When the ancients revived me, they made me more powerful than ever before. My reflection means nothing to me now.
But the biggest addition was the introduction of the Lunatics, a team of evil aliens from the moons of Plundar who were imprisoned on Third Earth by Mumra after they tried to overthrow him. And they are no joke. There's the loudmouth leader Luna, Chilla with her icy breath, Tugmug, who's super strong and wields a gravity-manipulating gun, Red Eye, whose eyes can see everything, even Tigra when he's invisible, and arguably the most dangerous of them all, Oloro, who has the power to immobilize anyone with their own self-doubt.
Who are you? They call me Oloro. Now, put the nunchucks down. You don't stand a chance. I don't stand a chance.
You don't stand a ghost of a chance.
He's shown to be the coward that he is, but doing so is no easy task. Of all the adversaries the Thundercats fought, they've come the closest to defeating them multiple times. Even the other villains like the mutants fear them.
Lunatics? Whoa, they're here?
I also love the design of their fortress. That would make one hell of an album cover. It can move anywhere, but doing so takes a great deal of energy, and eventually they do run out of fuel. This show sure does a good job of balancing out overpowered villains. After that, the majority of Season 2 was the same stuff again. One of the biggest disappointments, though, was the lack of potential character development. Specifically for the kittens, because throughout the first season, they were often irresponsible, but there was one moment during Thundercats Ho where it seemed like they grew up a bit.
Sorry, But someone has to hold the fort.
What?
Wily Cat. Teamwork, remember?
But they kind of reverted back to their old ways a few episodes later. They even almost get themselves killed.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they get saved by this character who is both adorable and creepy at
Voi
the same
hitto, toi on se,
Still,
toi on se
this
pahis
was
One
huge
Punch
misstep.
Manista,
Though I
se
did like that
kissahirviö.
from this point forward, we started seeing Jaga a bit less, as if Lion-O no longer needed his guidance. Season 3 is where things start to get interesting. It's revealed that Thundera inexplicably begins to reform, and then we finally learn why the planet was destroyed. During an attack by the mutants, they brought their most powerful sword, the Sword of Plundar, to try and match the Sword of Omens. They lost, and Jaga tried to seal the sword deep within the planet, but the sword was so powerful that it eventually shook the planet apart trying to free itself.
Just.
Wow! So Season 3 begins with another 5-part story arc where the Thundercats go out to investigate and find that a lot of the relics of their former society are still intact. However, the planet now resides near the moons of Plundar, which causes problems around the planet, like gravity shifts and permanent darkness. But Mum-Ra sets up a base there first and enslaves the Snarfs to find the Sword of Plundar and the other treasures of the Thundercats.
Miksi orjuutat kaikista pienimmän ja kyvyttömimmän rodun planeetalla?
Scattered about, so most of the season was about recovering them. Each of which has a powerful magic ability, such as the Book of Omens, which holds the secrets to the Thundercats. One of the best episodes has got to be the Jade Dragon. It was a powerful artifact that Hachiman gave to Jaga back during his time, which raises all kinds of continuity issues. But we get a really cool showdown between Mum-Ra and Hachiman. Toward the end of Season 3, this circus-themed bounty hunter guy manages to capture both the mutants and the Lunatics, and that's pretty much it for them for the rest of the series, aside from a few brief appearances later on. Ah, crap, we made too many characters, so get rid of some, quick! Then the ancient spirits of evil grow tired of Mum-Ra's constant failures and give him one more day to destroy the Thundercats, so he goes all out in an epic season finale. But the Thundercats manage to hold him off until sundown, and he gets banished from Third Earth forever.
Noni. Mum-Ra.
The biggest threats taken care of,
and
the
now
Thundercats leave Third Earth, and Season 4 is mostly focused on them trying to rebuild their home planet. We get to see some new characters, including some other refugees from Thundera, and some interesting new villains. I always like the design of this tumbling upside-down robot guy. Though I find it weird that there are still some life forms on the planet, considering what happened.
Voi ei, se on Battle Frog, eiku Battle Toad.
I have no idea how he could have possibly survived.
Niillä oli hittipeli
There
NES
was even a sleazy
aikakaudella.
Thunderian businessman who tried to overthrow Lion-O and rule over everyone for his own personal gain. Ugh, the nerve of some people.
Of course.
The season begins with another 5-part story arc where we find out how the planet reformed. A powerful sorceress named Jagara brought it back using some crazy gyroscope machine, because why the hell not? I've always liked her design as well. Now that is what you would call a space wizard. But Mum-Ra returns to cause more trouble. Even though he's been banished from Third Earth, he can still terrorize Thundera, and he continues to make life a living hell for the Thundercats. You know, at this point, I think Mum-Ra's just being a dick. The highlight of this season was the episode Shadow Master. In this episode, it's revealed the ancient wizard Shadow Master has trapped the spirit of Lion-O's father, Cloudus, in the Shadow Realm. Insert Yu-Gi-Oh! Joke here. But Lion-O goes in to rescue him, and
Varjo-maailmaan! Ei me voida tappaa sua, me lähetetään sut varjo-maailmaan verisesti.
To Lion-O as Lord of the Thundercats. And the episode ends with a shot of his spirit standing next to Jaga's.
Where's Cloudus, Lion-O? Did you save him? Yes, Panthro, I did. As to where he is now, let's just say he's with a friend.
Thundercats?
Throughout Season 4, Thundera has shown to be very unstable, and in the series finale, they figure out how to restore it using some of the Thunderian treasures.
Mitä sä spoilaat koko sarjan? Ei
Book of
tätä nyt
Omens
enää
to
auta
face off
katsella.
against Mum-Ra and this bigger, meaner-looking guy. He's victorious, of course. Thundera is restored, and Mum-Ra is presumably destroyed. But the thing about Mum-Ra is that he's ever living. There were many times throughout the series where it seemed like he was killed for good, but he was always brought back, and even though we don't see him return in the final episode, it's implied that he will. Mum-Ra may have had his silly moments, but he'll always be a sobering reminder that evil never truly dies.
I am not so easily disposed of. He will exist. Mum-Ra lives. Mum-Ra
Mitä hittoa sä sanot? Puhu sanoilla, jotka ymmärrät.
And that's pretty much Thundercats. Okay. It had a lot of ups and downs, but I think it got better toward the end. The show was kind of riddled with inconsistencies. I'm pretty sure season 1 was them just throwing every idea at the wall just to see what would stick. It made the show quite unpredictable, sure, but some things were just nonsensical. Like how everyone can breathe in space. Also, there's gravity. And listening to the end of episode Morals was pretty bad. Like I said, not all episodes ended this way, like the 5-part story arcs and some of the random episodes that were decent, but sometimes they would also end with a cringy joke and that cliched end of episode group laugh. My personal advice is, if you're gonna watch any episode outside of the story arcs,
pakko nauraa yhdessä.
fades out, you can just stop watching. So while there were many interesting ideas and even a few good episodes, I can't say the show has aged that well. And there were many other shows I've reviewed from this era that have aged a lot better, like Inhumanoids, Mighty Orbots, The Real Ghostbusters, and of course, The Mysterious Cities of Gold. But still, it has a lot of fun, memorable characters, really cool action, some crazy concepts, unpredictable adventures, decent series progression, especially in the last 3 seasons, and the musical score and the voice acting were great. Every character has their own musical cue, and if you ever have a chance to look up some behind-the-scenes stuff, it's a trip to watch.
Go into the book.
Okay. It's a flawed show, like a lot of 80s.
Mother hugger!
I really don't know why people insist on reminding us who grew up with these shows that they're not perfect. Believe me, we know. But I'd like to think that it left room for improvement. In fact, it would be the perfect thing for a reboot.
Hey there, everyone. My name's Lion-O.
Voi, ei Thundercats Roaria, ei. Kattokaa 2011 vuoden versio mieluummin.
Judge a show until you've seen it, but look at it. Could it possibly be anything other than what we expect it to be? A good reboot will look at something, see its faults, and try to improve on them. I've pointed out many flaws of
eikä tehdä taas uutta Teen Titans Go spin-offia tai matkintaa.
Wasn't a problem for this show? That it wasn't funny enough. Just because the show had its fair share of silly moments doesn't make this an okay thing to do. I don't want it to seem like I'm anti-reboot or anything, bbecause I'm not. I can think of many great reboots that were.
Ja en mä tiedä, kyllä se Thundercats Roar, kyllä se voi olla hyvä sarja. Ei se olisi tullut vielä, sitä ei ole näytetty yhtään jaksoa. Se voi olla ehkä maailman paras sarja ikinä. Mutta näillä näkymin se ei vaan vaikuta hyvältä valinnalta.
I'll be one of the first people to admit the original Voltron series did not age very well, but there's a new Voltron out now, and it's really good. There's even a new DuckTales show out. Yeah, DuckTales! Which was already good! And the new one's great too. Goes to show you that when they give a show to the right people, they can make something awesome. And of course, there's been reboots of a lot of other 80s shows over the years
Voltronia loppuun asti, siis Netflixin Voltronia loppuun. Enkä mä ole kattonut yhtään Ankroniikan uusia jaksoja.
Has some great reimagining of the characters. Oh yeah, and it was also pretty funny too. But that, my friends, is a review for another day.
Kattokaa tämä sarja mieluummin.
Show, it may have its flaws, but as far as I'm concerned, it's still pretty great. It was a big part of the 80s era of cartoons, and for all its faults, I can't imagine a world without it. So, I don't really know what people expected of my 100th episode. I think with a review series, a milestone like this is supposed to involve, me fighting an evil alternate reality version of myself, or having a big special effects spectacular, or, having some kind of major crossover event with a bunch of other people. We've never been that fortunate.
Majoreja.
And, I gotta say, even I didn't really know what to expect of my 100th episode. I've been at this for so long that way back when I decided what my 100th review was gonna be, so much has changed. Like, I did not even expect them to reboot Thundercats again and then try and turn it into that. But, somehow we've survived. And, we've been through a lot. Like, I've gone through college doing this review series. I've had health issues. I've had various back-breaking, very underpaying jobs that I've had to work while doing this.
Selkävioista sen verran mä sanon, että älkää istuko. Ihmistä ei ole luotu istumaan, eli istukaa niin vähän kuin mahdollista. Vaikka tekisitte töitänne istualta, kuten piirtäjänä, animaattorina tai tietokonehemmona, muistakaa nousta silloin tällöin ja nousta seisomaan, ettei tule selkäkipuja, koska vaikka ne ei vaikeuta sun elämääsi nyt, ne voi vaikuttaa sun elämääsi 10 vuoden päästä tai vanhuksena. Vanhuudessa.
YouTube does not like this
ihan tuommoista pieniä nippelitietoja teille kaikille ihmisille, jotka ette tätä jo tienneet.
I really don't know what the future holds for this review series. I will continue it for as long as I can possibly, have it for. But I don't know what the future, I don't know what lies ahead. But that being said, for everyone who's been watching, and especially anyone out there who's been watching since the very beginning, and I mean the very, very beginning, like back when I used to upload
very, very beginning.
I just want to say, thanks for sticking with me.
Joo, eipä kestä. No problemo. Rankin boss.
Thundercats forever!
Rawr. Rob the Wonderful.
So now it's time for my list of the 5 best cartoons of 2016, and man, this list was really hard to put together because, like I said in the top 5 worst video,
tätä
2016 was a really good year for cartoons.
Toi on He-Manin miekka tuolla taustalla.
It took a lot of debate as to what's going on this list and where I was going to place it, but eventually I came to a decision and here we are. So once again, the criteria is these are new shows. New shows that premiered on US television in 2016. So Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Rick and Morty, etc. not on the list because they didn't premiere in 2016. But reboots count because I consider those new shows. Also, I didn't mention this in the top 5 worst video because it wasn't relevant, but for the first time ever, I'm allowing web series. Yes, I believe we're finally at that point where
web-sarjoja. Mitäs web-sarjoja tuli 2016? Tuliko Genlock? Ei tainnut tulla Genlock 2016.
I've still yet to see Troll Hunters on Netflix. I've been hearing mostly good things about it, but I haven't had a chance to check it out.
Troll Hunters oli mielenkiintoinen sarja.
So, just keep in mind that these are all shows that I've seen. So before we begin, let's talk about a few honorable mentions. So, I want to give an honorable mention to Mighty Magiswords. I think maybe in my video I was a little too hard on this one. It's not a great show, but it's certainly not a horrible show. If there was like a midpoint between the best and worst list, I think it would be right about there. I watched it a little more, and you know what? It actually did manage to squeeze a laugh or two out of me, so I guess that's something. Another
Joo, mäkään en kattonut yhtään jaksoa Mighty Magisorsia, mutta ei se nyt niin huonolta vaikuta. Se vaikuttaa ehkä mun kaltaiselta huumorilta. Mä ehkä tykkäsin katsoa sitä.
I kept hearing it's aired on Boomerang, but I never saw it on Boomerang. I heard that it was airing overseas, but eventually it would come to the US, but it never did. It just kind of vanished. I did hear that a lot of people who liked the books didn't like it very much, but that Ruby Spears standalone cartoon that they did years ago, that was pretty accurate to the book, and I'll be honest, that was boring as hell. The TV show was actually really funny. But whatever happened to it, I do hope we see it again someday in some form. But it is Cartoon Network, so I'm not going to hold my breath. So let's get right into it. Number 5 is Justice League Action. Yeah, I really wish I could put this one up a lot higher.
Mä katsoin Justice League Actionia pari jaksoa, kun mä kerralla laisin DVDn tuolta kirjastosta. Mä katsoin kaikki jaksot, mitä siinä DVDllä oli. Ehkä niitä oli jotain 10. Ja toi Batmanin suomenkielinen ääni, joka on ollut The Batman Animated Seriesistä, eli vuodesta 2003, niin se on vieläkin pysynyt samana Batmanin roolissa jopa nykyhetken duppaamaan tuota Batmanin ääniroolia Young Justiceen, joka näkyy suomenkielisellä duppauksena Netflixissä muun muassa. Ei varmaan missään muualla. Suomessa ainakaan.
Number 4, Voltron, Legendary Defender. There it is, the first online entry in one of my lists. This is an example of a reboot done right, because they took a show from a long time ago that people really liked, but was still kind of silly and ridiculous and kind of low budget, and they made it awesome. I love that even though this is Voltron, they're spending a lot of time focusing on the characters because it helps them feel developed and it helps people identify with them a little more. I love all of the updates they did. I love all the new looks for everything.
Voltronilla oli tosi iso fanisuosio myös Suomessa, enimmäkseen tyttöjen kohdalla. Mä en tiedä ketään poikaa, joka Voltronia fanittaa, mutta tai mun lisäkseni, mutta sitten mä oli semmonen juttu, että se Voltron ei ole oikein parane, ja mä en ole kattonut Voltronia loppuun asti sen takia, koska ne jaksot tulee koko ajan huonommiksi, ja se jaksot alkaa tulee, ja niin sanotut tuotantokaudet alkaa tuntua siltä, että revitään vaan päästämme joitain ideoita ja laitetaan, eikä laiteta niitä ollenkaan kunnolliseen järjestykseen tai mitään, ei yritetä sanoa mitään kunnollista, vaan heitellään ideoita vaan seinälle. One Punch!
The anime that's come out in the past 6-7 years.
Mä en tiedäkään, että sä ottais animeita mukaan.
Every year, maybe every 2 years, one comes out that I really do end up liking. And I watched the dub on Toonami this year, and yeah, I like it. It had a great sense of humor. It had a lot of fun and interesting side characters. And I like the character of Saitama. He's a very interesting deconstruction of superheroes. I was actually going back and forth with this and Voltron to see where I was going to place them. And I think what it came down to was the way each season ended. Because, like I said, Voltron just kind of abruptly ended. And even though there's going to be more episodes coming out, it felt very unsatisfying. But with One Punch Man, they actually had a climax that they concluded. And while they did kind of leave off abruptly, it wasn't so jarring that it felt unsatisfying. It felt more like you're just ready for the next season. And that's really what it came down to. So One Punch Man. It's the second time I'm putting anime on my list. God, I feel dirty. So we're down to the final 2, and, well, there's really only 2 shows left. This was hard. This was very hard. I was debating this more than One Punch Man and Voltron. I went back and forth on these 2 shows so many times that I think I lost count. I guess it is a testament to how good the year was when a Nickelodeon show and a Disney show are going head-to-head for best. But after careful consideration, I finally came to a conclusion. And again, it was close. Number 2 is The Loud House. This show has a great sense of humor. and it was heavily inspired by a lot of comic strips.
Loudhouse tulee muuten Yleltä, ja se pitää pystyy katsomaan muun muassa Yle Areenalta suomenkielisellä dubbauksella, mutta jotenkin ei vaan nappaa tämän sarjan katsominen, vaikka mä katson tällä One Punch Manissa kaikki jaksot heti kun ne tulee, mutta eka tuotantokausi ja toinen tuotantokausi.
So here's to the Loudhouse lasting multiple seasons.
Ja jälleen kerran, Loudhouse tai Näin meillä. Ei se ole mitenkään huono sarja sitä, mitä me on katsonut, mutta se ei vaan nappaa meikäläistä yhtään. Milo Murphy's Lovea mä en ole kattonut yhtään myöskään. Mutta sitten on tommosia outoja juttuja, kun ootteko te kattoneet sitä sarjaa, joka mainittiin äsken toi Star vs. Forces of Evil. No sehän päättyi pari vuotta sitten, mutta mä niin kuin 6 kuukautta sitten vaan jostain kumman syystä binge-watchasin ne kaikki jaksot alusta loppuun. Ekaksi mä katsoin ekan tuottarin, ja sitten vuosi sitten mä katsoin ekan tuottarin, ja 6 kuukauden jälkeen mä katsoin ne vaan kaikki jaksot. Jostain syystä halusin vaan binge-watchata, että mitä tulee seuraavaksi.
But I think I prefer the kind that Milo Murphy's Law has, because there are a lot of very witty jokes and comments, and a lot of great visual gags. I love me some good visual gags. Also, it's great that the show has Weird Al in it, and it seems almost unfair that I have to debate this over other shows when this one has Weird Al. It seems like it's cheating. But yeah, I love Milo Murphy's Law. Dan and Jeff, you did a great job. You struck gold again. Keep up the good work. Well, that's my top 5 favorite shows of 2016. Leave a comment below and let me know what show was your favorite. And stay tuned for the top 5
Onks toi oranssi?
It's in the past. Onward,
Joo. Suurin piirtein.
Mabel, how many of these did you eat?
11. Saberspark. Jälleen kerran me ollaan vaihdettu mustavalkoisuuteen.
Let's go crazy. Where they make something that is visually stunning and is similar to what a person might see
toi oli Raggedy äänen elokuva.
Psychedelic colors, bizarre shapes and movement.
Max!
That would overload your senses.
Ja toi oli Thief and a Gobbler. Ei, joskus täytyy seota pysyäkseen järjissä. Mä katson tätä mustavalkoisena, mutta tää silti näyttää aika mainittavalta. Ja miksi tää on mustavalkoisena? No saattaa olla, että mä painelin näitä efektinappuloita tässä YouTuben Movie Makerissa. Ja sen takia joissakin on vahingossa voinut tulla jotain outoja efektejä. Kunnon dinosaurus. Sekoavaa.
The Jetsons movie.
En oo ikinä Jetsoneita kattonut.
This scene completely caught me off guard.
Ja jos ne, jotka ei tiedä, Jetsons on niin kuin, vähän niin kuin Kiviset ja Soraset, se on Hanna-Barberan tuottama animaatio, joka perustuu siihen, että ne on perhe, joka on tulevaisuudessa, ja ne käyttää yleensä kaikennäköisiä robotteja ja avaruusmatkailujuttuja, ja yleensä vääntelee vain sitcomimaisesti kaikkia vitsejä. Voitte pitää tästä, jos pidätte Kivisistä ja Sorasista, mutta jos ette erityisemmin pidä, niin sitten on vähän vaikea sanoa, että Kivisillä Sorasilla oli johonkin aikaan Suomessa niin kuin oma sarjakuvalehtensäkin. Mutta mä en tiedä ollenkaan, että kuka Jetsoneista edes tietää, paitsi meidän animaatiofriikit täällä ruudun tällä puolella.
Number 9. heffalumps and woozles.
Mä oon Nalle Puh-elokuvan kattonut varmaan kerran elämäni aikana. Eikä sitäkään, ja sekin oli dubattu varmaan suomeksi, mutta mä en muista.
This scene is from Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day from 1968. In it, Pooh has a nightmare about these creatures stealing his precious honey. I appreciate it when Disney makes these kinds of sequences. Yeah, they know that kids watch this stuff, but that's the beauty of it. They'll never forget. I recall watching this when I was a kid, and it stuck with me. The way the heffalumps and woozles transformed and shifted in shape and color. It really captures the nonsensical nature of dreams and how you have no control over them. You're just kind of strapped in for the ride. Number 8. Pink Elephants on Parade.
No totta kai. Hetkinen, Pink Elephants on numero 8. Mikä voisi olla hullumpaa, tarkoitan.
Out of all the choices,
tuo monikin asia on hullumpaa, mutta sä oikeesti löysit jotain 7 hullumpaa kohtausta kuin Pink Elephants.
Now, I love Dumbo, and I watched the movie all the time when I was young. But this scene messed with me. I always wanted to skip it, but never did. It drew me in with how bizarre it was.
Look out! Look out! Pink elephants on parade, here they come, hippity-hoppity. They're here, and there are pink elephants everywhere.
The scene itself comes out of nowhere. Dumbo gets drunk and starts to see things, which is kind of weird. I have been drunk before, but I have never hallucinated. So Dumbo must have been absolutely
wasted. En mä oo koskaan ikinä hallusinoinut elämäni aikana, mitä nyt mä oon joskus nähnyt aaltoilua, että joku paikallaan pysyvä asia niin kuin aaltoilee sillä tavalla, mutta sen lisäksi mä en ole nähnyt mitään hallusinaatioita, ei ainakaan tällaisia hallusinaatioita. No onneksi mä laitoin tämän mustavalkoiseksi, ettei tarvitse niinku epileptikoida hirveesti. Vaikka on tää nyt aika värähtelevää sikäli, ei tää munkaan silmille on hyvä, että jos mä katson tätä pitkään.
Number 7.
Onni
Goodbye Moonman from Rick and Morty.
Goodbye Moonman! I say goodbye. Diamonds in your eyes.
What captures me the most about this sequence are the transitions. The animation flows and transforms from one thing to another. And the fact that it's in space just
älä vaan sano, että Pink Floyd's The Wall-kohtaus on loppukohtaus on tässä elokuvassa. Ei kun tässä listauksessa.
From Moana. Number 6. The Goblin Dogs from Star Versus.
You've had a goblin dog? Got it from Roy. So goblin dogs are real. They are.
Most people think that psychedelic sequences, like Pink Elephants on Parade, are a thing of the past and would not show up in modern kids' cartoons. But they're wrong. And I love how it's Disney, again, that provides it. The clip itself is pretty short, but man, does it pack a punch.
Yes, I was expecting.
Kun Star vs. Forces of Evilin jaksot on jotain 10 minuuttia pitkä. Just. Trippaavaa. Tai sitten BoJack Horsemanin joku jakson klippi olisi tästä.
Number 5. Lisa Simpson from Selma's Choice. Let this serve as a reminder that you should never drink the water from an amusement park ride.
No en ole koskaan juomassa mitään. Mä näen ajan läpi. Ja mä näen musiikkia.
Just like Dumbo and Star, Lisa ingested something that made her hallucinate. And not just that, but really freak out. As in, this was a bad trip.
You just put your head right here.
Tämä oli huono matka. Tai sitten
Number 4,
Fritz the Cat
Raggedy
siinä
Ann
se
and
yksi
Andy,
kohta.
a musical adventure.
I've gathered sweet of every description and flavor from all over.
I am
This is
the
one of those
great mighty
movies that you
Pooh.
see as a kid, forget about, and randomly remember 20 years
Budjetti,
later. 'Cause
budjetti,
that's exactly
budjetti.
what happened to me. In the back of my head, I recalled these 2 toy characters being stuck in a pit of goo, but I could not remember the movie. Then I stumbled across this video on YouTube, and it came rushing back to me.
Quash me in the
I am Glob Go Gaggala.
jelly, tutti frutti by the score, marzipan and pastry,
Jotkut ihmiset vaan vihaa lapsia, sen takia ne animoi tämmösiä.
This movie in general is something else. Insanely well animated, but also very strange. It was made in the 1970s, so it has that weird, creepy feel to it. One that haunts your dreams for years to come. The trippy scene itself is quite remarkable, constantly shifting, transforming from one thing to another. It's one of the most impressive bits of animation I've ever come across.
Joo, siltä näyttää, kyllä täytyy myöntää. Mä oon kattonut tätä vaan minuutin ajan ja se näyttää aika uskomattomalta 70-luvun animaatiolta.
Number 3. Beavis and Butthead Do America.
I think I'm freaking out.
Mäkin on nähnyt tän elokuvan, mutta tää trippauskohta niin kuin ei muistu vaan kuin paitsi että alkaa muistuttaa tulista rockfestaria.
Made me want to do this list. I watched it a few years ago and was completely blindsided by this trippy scene.
Mitäs mä sanoin? Mitä mä sä sanoit?
You can see the progression of things getting worse and worse until he's completely gone. I also enjoy how he makes the comment that his trip and what he's seeing is like a music video. Kind of funny, since Beavis and Butthead would watch music videos and also aired on MTV. Number 2. The Thief and the Cobbler.
Paranoia, paranoia, all they're coming to get me. Mitä? Ei BoJack Horsemania tai jotain
This
muuta.
is one of the most visually amazing sequences I have ever seen. But the movie itself also has one of the most interesting productions I have ever seen. The Thief and the Cobbler was stuck in production hell for over 30 years. You can tell that there was passion put into this film, but it never found its footing. There's this chase scene where the cobbler pursues the thief. What ensues is a sequence that plays on the eyes and perspective of the audience. What you think is a set of stairs isn't necessarily true. What you think is a floor is actually a wall. The shapes, the colors, the movement, it's remarkable. And it's not just trippy for the characters, but for the people who are watching the film.
Sekoaminen jatkuu. Kannattaisi uskoa hallusinaatioihin, koska olet sellaisessa. Tai entäs se kerta kun...
My top choice for the most trippy moments in animation is The Trial from Pink Floyd's The Wall.
No niin, Pink Floyd's The Wall. Menkää katsomaan Pink Floyd's The Wall, se näkee YouTubesta ilmaiseksi.
I just discovered this choice a
paitsi että älkää menkö, se on aika ahdistava elokuva. Mä en suosittele katsomaan sitä elokuvaa, jos olet ahdistunut tai masentunut. Tai edes pidä tällaista.
Oh my god. This is truly something else. I haven't seen the entire movie, so I admittedly don't have a full appreciation of
paitsi Pink Floyd The Wall elokuvassa on useampi animaatiokohtaus. Tämä on vaan loppukohtaus.
During this sequence, he puts himself on trial, and insanity ensues. Again, I haven't seen the full movie, but I have seen parts of it, and it seems pretty heavy. Just like Goodbye Moonman, there's a lot of transitions of characters turning from one thing to another. It has a flow to it that carries alongside the music. The music itself has a discord to it that resonates the unpleasant trial that's going on. How there's a lot of anger, and it shows in the faces of the characters. Also, there's this screaming in the background, and it only adds to the uncomfortable experience. It's creepy, it's weird, it's wonderful. I applaud art that can make me feel uncomfortable, but still hold my attention. And that's why The Trial from Pink Floyd's The Wall is my #1 choice for this list.
Ihana kolmio, no niin. Ding ding ding. Great, no problem. I didn't look like anyone. Carrying a few corpses. What are you doing? Alright, pick something you'd like to eat. Welcome. What would you like? Oh, there. I want to eat an old man. What's wrong? Mitäs tapahtuu? Syödään miehiä.
ああ、そうなんだ。俺は浜崎の奥さんが欲しい。
Hamasakin vaivaa.
あの人がどうした？
ちょっと待って。
お前はさっきから何を聞いてる？
何かの聞き間違いじゃない？
そうだな。
Lakkaa kuulemasta väärin, tämä on tämä meidän.
高校生。こんなところで何を買う気だ？だから言ったでしょ。ここは。
Nyt kun täytyy ostaa poliisia. Njaa.
多分それ勘違いだと思う。それ全部魚の名前だから。そうなの？
Joo, minäkin menen kalakauppaan ja pyydän, että saisiko lukioikäistä miniaameista pikkutyttöä. Paljonko maksaisi? Paljonko maksaisi?
俺は最初から上がっていたがな。
思いっきり一緒に驚いてたくせに。
すみません。
はいよ、いらっしゃい。
一口で成人が混沌するような毒魚を一匹。
ねえ女も。
Ei mitään tommosta. Viimeisen kerran! Mikä oli tehtäväsi? Viimeisen kerran! Mikä oli tehtäväsi? Ja mistä nämä viestit tulevat? Ha? Hyvä on. Miten vaan haluat. Nyppisimmekö hänen kaikki sulkansa? Leikkaammeko hänen siipeensä? Pahoitammeko hänen mielensä? Ei. Jotain paljon pahempaa. Aumen sulkami. Sormi meni taipuli. On tapa, jolla saamme sinut laulamaan. Mikä tässä on niinku hauskaa? Ei jodlaus ole niin kamalaa kuin noi antaa sen ymmärtää. Jaha. Ja seuraava. Kädet rattiin. Siis se on ihan ok, että sä et pidä käsiä ratissa sitten kun sä ajat, mutta älä kuvaa videomateriaalia samaan aikaan, koska se tulee näyttämään todella hyvältä sun oikeusistuntossa.
Olla ihan rajoitusten mukaan, niin justis.
No,
siis, jos sä haluat räjäyttää vajan, niin se on ihan ok, mutta älä kuvaa siitä todistusaineistoa.
Mä inhon näitä töissä, ettei kato rengas vahingossa irtoa tai mitään muuta. Juutosta.
Minäkin vihaan töyssyjä, mutta ei niitä voi ilmankaan olla. Niin kauan kuin teitä on töyssyjä.
Noin. Siinähän se on. Hyvä. Pitääkö voinko mä kääntyä tästä?
Kyllä.
Eikö
tosta saa?
Yksisuuntainen kaista?
Ei, tästä.
Eikö oo?
Ei.
Like when I dance in my قلبي انت روح عندي عمري ما قلبي انت روحي انت عمري ما قلبي هلا Riipulla poltan mä tupakkaa ja ryypillä ryypään mä viinaa. Kellot soi ja kulkusit, kun laulaa nuoret tytöt. Ajat pojat ajaa autoansa aikamiehillä.
Aha, onks tää niinku sketsi vai tällainen informatiivinen video?
Kato, tuolla on petskoja.
Koska mä olen erittäin sekaisin tällä hetkellä.
Oi että. Kato, ne kahto meitä. Juan suikka sentään. Tuliko perä? Ei tullut. Nyt ajetaan lujaa.
Hei, jos sä ajat 100 alueella ja sitten laitat jarrun pohjaan, niin perään ajaa.
Eli viikon puhutuin aihe lienee tulivuoren purkaus Islannissa. Tuhkaa on levinnyt taivaalle tuhansia tonneja Eyjafjalla Jökullin tulivuoren purkauksessa.
Jökullin.
Ja lisää pelkoa on herättänyt Katotaan.
Ja se tapahtui ihan Persepoliksin vieressä.
Mitä?
Ei mitään.
Ei ole hauskaa sieltä.
Ei olekaan.
Ei todella.
Ei yhtään.
Niin. Katla,
ja
jonka purkaus olisi 10-kertainen Eyjafjalla Jökullin purkaukseen.
Päivi, älä nyt viiti olla noin lapsi.
Siis mikä tässä nyt on hauska?
Mitäs?
No se on se sana.
Ensin Päivi haukkuu kaikki maailman ihmiset, miehet pystyyn, koska ne tekee jotain tyhmää, mutta sitten kun joku sanoo Jökulli, niin sitten ollaankin yhtäkkiä pikkuneiti nunna kukkainen, joka punastuu kaikesta.
En minäkään. Mitä hauskaa siinä on, jos Eyjafjalla Jökullia taivuttaa?
Ei mitään, varmaan joku yhteinen yskös.
Aivan, nyt minä tajusin joo.
Aha, no niin, no nyt tajusin minäkin.
No niin.
Te nauratte minun ääntäykselleni. Mitä hauskaa siinä nyt on? No. Jos minä en osaa lausua ulkomaalaista nimeä niin kuin se oikeasti lausutaan uutisissa, kylläpä on kypsää käytöstä.
Ei, se oli ihan vaan se taivutus. Ei
no minä taivutan Eyjafjalla Jökullin suuhuni sopivaksi ihan niin kuin itse haluan. Nyt, aikuiset ihmiset, onko se hauska, kun koko Eurooppa on sekaisin? Ja ajatelkaa niitä
onko se hauskaa? Onko se aika outoa muuten, että mua ei laiteta niinku, mitä mä sanon? Että kiroilua saa tai tällaista saa näyttää tällä kristillisillä servereillä. Että onko meillä vaan Suomessa pienemmät kriteerit sille, mitä kiroilu merkitsee meille suomalaisille, mutta Mä oon kattonut paljon Sopranosia. Mä katsoin Sopranosin 5. tuotantokauden tossa pari viikkoa. Joten mä osaan samaistua tähän.
They're all bums. They never pay.
Dude, just get the money.
Homer, the mob is putting the screws on me, see? I ain't getting killed because you won't pay your tab. Now give me $50.
Take it. Just don't hurt me. Yeah, okay, pretty boy. Where's Fat Tony's $50?
Look, all I got is 25. I swear.
It'll do for now.
Huijausta. Kilpikonna söi enemmän kuin joi. Miksi ei se vaan maksanut velkaansa suoraan? Miksi se ei voinut? Mitä? Krustin nenä ei, Hassuklovnin nenä ei ollut äsken väriä.
I sent flowers, but you probably didn't get them. You know, florist. Glug glug.
Krusty, Fat Tony hasn't received his weekly payment for keeping McDonald's and Burger King out of town.
I'm a little short.
Entäpäs Wendy's?
Just pay you $5 to keep
maksoitteko? Ei ihme, että Wendy's pärjäs
Springfieldissä. My puppet! I connect the gazoink!
Oh.
Homer, where'd you get that truck?
It fell off a truck. You know, a truck.
Truck.
Where'd you get that? It fell off a truck.
Kiitos Otsonikerrokselle. Jos nyt tulee ehkä hauskin osa tässä jaksossa, kun tää Homerin vähän niin kuin suutahtaa, kun Flanders tulee. Ja vielä pesäpallomailalla.
I got your phone bill in my mail by mistake, and I'll just pay it.
When I should plug him in the ankle?
You monster! Just cut his Achilles tendon with this knife.
Paras kohta. Tuo oli paras kohta koko siinä jaksossa. Hyvä, että siinä. Ja nyt vähän nostalgiapaukkuja, tai oikeastaan nostalgiapaukkuja kellekään, koska tätä japaninkielistä versiota ei koskaan näytetty Suomessa. Tää toisaalta biisi soi välillä kuitenkin taustalla. Tuntuu nyt jotakin, jossa olisin unessa, aivan kuin olisin nähnyt unta tästä lapsena. Jotakin jossakin siilejä siellä tapahtui paljonkin. Ja huomasin poskellani yksinäisen kyyneleen. Tää kohtaus on lopputeksteissä, mutta väriskeemat on niin huonoja, koska kaikki näkyy pikkasen tummempana täällä Euroopassa. Suomalaisempia maisemia kuin Hopeanuolassa. Sitten hattivatit tulee siihen ja ne ei tee mitään, ne vaan tulee siihen niinku ottamaan potrettia tai jotain. Ja taas vaihdamme 1920-luvulle väriskeeman mukaan. Meidät on sepialisoitu. Kanadanhanet kävivät hetkeltä vaarallisimmiksi Penan tuoman ET-kulttuurin jälkeen ja he olivat vihaisia kuin suomalaiset nakkikioskilla. Mä en ole nähnyt tätä elokuvaa. Tää on lyhyt elokuva, joka kertoo näistä eräänlaisista rotuhevosista, joka on tarkoitus mainostaa tätä eräänlaista farmia Amerikassa. Dreams Come True, a Mule Mom's Story. Ja Bob Show-niminen YouTube-käyttäjä arvosteli tän, joten mä tiedän, miten se tapahtuu. Ja tää animaatio näyttää siltä, kun se olisi Venäjältä tilattu. Tai Koreasta.
If you think I'm sleeping, you'd better think again.
Punk!
My name's Tuffy McDuffie, and I can do more
Tuffy McDufferton the Third.
And most of the characters on this here horse farm can do with their eyes
Lip sync!
How many times have I told you not to do that, cowboy?
Cowboy.
How do you expect me to run this farm properly if you keep interrupting me while I'm planning everything around here?
I bring news from afar. Word of the
Farm.
Gypsy King. Or at least rumors.
Tuffy?
It's not Tuffy, McDuffie.
It's Fluffy, McDuffie.
Tuffy.
That's Tuffy.
Fluffy.
I know on the outside you're fluffy, but on the inside, where it really counts, you're Sir Tuffy of the stables. In my
Tuffy ja Fluffy ja Fluffy ja Tuffy.
Here to get some oats.
Oats. Kauravelliä.
Show me your move. I can take you. Come on. Let's have it.
I can take you all!
Oh, he's so strong. Do it once again.
What? Come on.
Do it twice again.
Do it 3 times.
This.
He's
Hän teki
indescribable.
kurkkipotka.
He's inexplicable.
Yönäkölasit. Mä pidän tästä ruohometsän kansan niin kuin uusinta otoksesta. Ja yhtäkkiä hevosia.
We're very proud of the beautiful gypsy Vanna horses who
Tää ääninäyttelijä... Tää ääninäyttelijä ei oikein kiinnosta ääninäyttely.
Aren't they so fabulous?
Fabulous!
Go get my hair done.
He wouldn't get away with that if the Gypsy King were here.
But
Gypsy
he
King.
isn't. Away on a mission in faraway lands on behalf of Gypsy Vannas, the world over.
One day he'll be back. I just know it.
He will be back on black, but he also attack. But most importantly, he protect.
in life to be too sure about anything. Because later that night, a ruckus started. And
A ruckus, Uncle Ruckus, no relation.
A very nasty coyote named Cal came onto the property with bad
Wile E. Coyote, super genius. Papukaija.
Everybody in the chicken coop was terribly frightened, especially the golden pheasant. That didn't sit very well with Farmer Jim.
Mikä se oli, ninja? Meow!
Back, you brute! This is our stables.
Sir, a moment of your time, if you will oblige me.
Cowboy was courageous in confronting the danger, but the wily coyote was too much for him.
Anime! Mä en pääse ollenkaan mukaan tähän ääninäyttelyyn, koska se on niinku... Ihan niinku joku olisi niinku lasten äänikirjaa tehnyt 3-vuotiaana.
That's when Farmer Jim stepped in.
Indiana Jones!
To keep Cal the coyote from sneaking into the stables,
Mitä tää liittyy mihinkään?
animals, Farmer Jim talked to his neighbor to the south, Farmer Dennis. They brought
Dennis?
in a champion kicker to solve the problem for good.
Get a load of that.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? What a kick.
But what is it?
It ain't a gypsy Vanner.
Jack?
In fact, it wasn't even a horse. It was a mammoth donkey. And
It was an ass!
Donkeys are known for one asset in particular.
One asset.
Mammoth donkeys do it in a very big way. This donkey's name was Jack, and he wound
And
up
he was
and gave
back
Cal the boot.
in black.
Time
Time!
after time
After time.
After a time,
Kaikki ikkunat.
hit the road and never came back again.
Hit the road, Jack.
All noble citizens,
And
please
don't you
acknowledge
come back no more, no more,
And
no
on
more,
behalf
no
of all
more.
of us here at the stables, we hereby present you, Jack,
with the Stables Award. Outstanding and meritorious.
Karjaeläin teki työnsä, se saa mitallin siitä hyvästä.
This Jack, the donkey, was pretty popular.
Frame rate.
All the mayors were a flutter over him. One of the Percheron draft
Oh,
mayors,
oh.
named Elizabeth, fell in love with Jack.
Kun korva kilahtaa, niin vapaus vilahtaa. Ja sitten tapahtui asioita.
They gave birth to a beautiful mule, or Molly,
Yhtäkkiä tuosta vain se vaan tuli heidän väliinsä.
after his very own mother.
Oh.
Then he stuck his snarly head round the corner, and that's when I knew I had him right where he wanted me. I wound up with my back legs and my hooves, looked him right in the eye, and kicked.
But you don't have hooves.
But lady, if I did, it would have been awesome.
Don't ever get between him and the camera.
Minkä kameran? Ei täällä mitään kameraa olekaan.
I have an appointment.
Or a quick exit.
Tää on niin epämukavaa katseltu. Mistään ei oo mitään painoa. Ei animaatiossa, ei vitsit on niinku...
It's him, the Gypsy King.
Se on Gypsy King.
Back, the Gypsy.
Not only he's back, he's also black.
Back for a spell from his travels.
And white.
Of legend. For Gypsy Vannas and those who love them the world over.
That's royal blood that runs in his veins.
Kuka toi Gypsy King on, mistä se tuli ja miksi se tuli takaisin vasta nyt?
To follow in his royal footsteps. But
Royal.
Flo was lonely. None of the other horses wanted anything to do with her because she was different. Especially a bit of a nasty gelding named Morph who liked to tease Flo.
She longed to play with the horses all day.
Horses all day.
Hey, Flo, nice singing. Hee-haw, hee-haw.
Hee-haw.
I love the ears.
The miniature horse mare Velcro was the only one who ever came to Flo's defense.
You really shouldn't ought to talk to my friend Flo like that, Morph.
I really shouldn't ought to be slumming like this, Velcro.
I think you're beautiful, Flo, and there's no one else in the world like you.
Ja sitten tapahtui asioita. Makuuhuoneeseen. Muutako mä tänne takahuoneeseen vai? Koko yön ja joka päivä ja joka yö. Mä aitaa katselen. Hitto toi muuli saa niinku kulkea siellä missä ikinä haluaakaan, mutta noi hevoset on joutuu olemaan tuolla oidan toisella puolella. Voi meteoriitti! Thanos tulee avaruusaluksellaan sieltä.
Farmer Jim, Farmer Dennis, and Dr. Pablo were pretty worried about Flo.
How
They
good
knew
this?
what she needed was to have a foal of her own. But being that Flo was a mule, that was impossible. So Dr. Pablo performed a little miracle that went something like this. The critical conundrum concerning the propagation of a mule, like Flo, is a chromosomal conflagration. To wit, within the equine species, an Equus fetus gabulus, otherwise known as a horse, has 64 chromosomes.
Eli hevosilla on 64 kromosomia, kun taas aasilla on 62. Se tarkoittaa sitä, että muulilla...
In Latin, mulus
on eri määrä kromosomeja kuin aasilla tai hevosella, ja sen takia muuli ei pysty saamaan jälkeläisiä hevosen tai aasin kanssa, ellei se sitten käytä taikuutta. Eli koska sillä tavalla niin kuin lisääntyminen toimii, jotain taikuus. Elikkä leikit, jotkut ihmiset kysyvät minulta, että onko tuolla professorilla jumalkompleksi. Hän on Jumala.
And that's how it all happened.
Ja sitten nyt tapahtui asioita.
How the mule who couldn't be a mom became a mule mom, inspiring mules.
Ja niin sitten tuli muuli tyttäriä.
How the royal blood of the renowned Gypsy King was renewed again. Flo gave birth.
Mikä se kettu sivutarinan tarkoitus oli? Ai niin, se että toi aasi tuli paikalle.
Listen to the story of a mule named Flo. She became a mule mom not too long ago. With help from gypsy banners, a miracle took place. A foal was born with beauty and grace. A mule mom, they came from far and wide. A mule mom, their hearts swelled with pride. A mule mom, the love inside her grew. This was a mule mom's dream come true.
All of the animals on the farm celebrated the miracle of Prince Deerfield's
sama animaatio.
And the happiness it gave Flo to become a mule mom.
Ja nyt hän on täyttänyt tarkoituksensa elämässä tai jotain. Ja näin alkoi Heppajengi-animaatiosarja. Muistatteko te Heppajengin? Tällä tavalla se alkoi. Tää oli origin story. Hei Heppajengi! No miten te muuten kuvittelette, että hevosella voisi olla pinkki harja muuta kuin geenimanipuloitua? Tää aamu mua kantaa. Rifferikisorsa. Ja sitten oli kuningas myös. Ja sen nimi oli Bambin isä. Nouse ylös. Sinun pitää nousta. Nouse ylös. Nouse ylös. Ja se oli tarina. Se oli sen serenaadin loppu. Aikas paljon on kaiken näköisiä videoita taas tullut lähetettyä meikäläisille, ja siitä mä vaan haluaisin sanoa, että kiitos vaan, kun olette jaksaneet katsella mua kaikki nämä vuosien ajat. Että olen todella kiitollinen, vaikka se ei pahemmin näy, mutta jälleen kerran mä pyrin tekemään tätä työtä niin kuin ihan vain harjoittelijan pohjalta, että minä en rupea vielä ainakaan mitään YouTube-yritystä tai yritystä YouTuben kautta vielä ihan tekemään, että pitäkää se mielessä. Ja ennen kuin mä saan mitään kunnollisia välineitä tai jotain kunnollista rahoitusta tälle niin koko hommalle, niin ei laatukaan tule olemaan mitään kummoista, mutta tää on tärkeä juttu, että sä paranet niissä asioissa koko ajan, mitä sä teet koko ajan. Eli kannattaa vaan tehdä sitä omaa harrastustaan niin paljon ja niin kauan, kunnes uskaltaa mennä seuraavalle tasolle. Ja pitää koko ajan ylittää itsensä, mitä tulee videoiden tekemiseen. Niin kuin Minnikin oppii harrastamaan niin jutsuakin, kunhan se vaan niinku... No, jotkut tunnelmat on semmosia, että ne ei toteudu, joten sun pitäisi kannattaa kuitenkin yrittää kaikkea. Semmoisia juttuja, jotka on mahdollista toteuttaa. Joo. Oliko se viimeinen? Taisi olla. Joo, kiitos teille kaikille tästä päivästä. Ja mehän nähdään taas sitten joskus. Joulukuussa tulee pari videota vielä. Sitä odotellessa me nähdään taas joskus.